You were tuned in to episode 25. Yes, I said it. Episode 25 of the Goodfellas podcast. I'm G5 Jeff TV, aka G5, aka 5, aka the Guru in the building. I got my right hand with me, VP Shane in the building. What's going on?
I'm happy, bro. As you can see, there's just a abundance of happiness and an extreme expression of joy.
Absolutely. And we're not gonna get into specifics. But if you know Shane, if you know myself, um, not being able to do something that you love to do. They say you don't realize how important something is until it's taken away from you. That's exactly what happened, and we had to get behind the scenes,
But
do what we
in
had
the
to
word
do.
in the words of Napoleon, you can combine all forces that mankind has, and it can't stop me.
Absolutely.
Can't stop me.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? So we are definitely happy to be here, man. Episode 25 of the Goodfellas podcast. I feel like it's been an eternity since we've been on this camera and on this podcast. Off top, before we even get started, put a 1 in the comment section if you can hear us good. Put a number 1 in the comment section if you can hear us good. Big shout out to BoxingFirst Vlog, aka Blunt, aka the General, aka Blunt Bayless. He's actually he's in the hospital right now, but he's okay. Send the prayers out to him. He will be okay, but it's just he ain't too right about now. So big shout out to BoxingFirst Vlog, man. We're gonna hold it down until you return. We got a couple people in the building. Bleeds Philly 215. Big shout out to you, bro. I did check out your video. I did like it. I love the green screen that you got going on in the background. Shane, I'm gonna send you the link for it so you can check it out. Adrian, what's going on, bro? He put a 1 in. He could hear us good. William Gonzalez in the building. Everybody can hear us.
One second, bro. One
Yes.
second.
My guy Cruz Hitman Stewart, what is going on, my bro? He said, "Happy Turkey Week, bro. I had Bud stoppage in 8. I was 2 rounds off. Hey, bro, you got to join the Boxing Prediction Fantasy League, bro. $500 for the winner of the league, man. It's free to join, bro. I'm gonna send a link to your phone so you can go ahead and register. You got a lot of points in the league, bro, for sure." My guy Tree James is in the building. Big shout out to you. He said, "I told y'all Bud is a beast." Yeah, man, Bud a problem. And we're gonna get to that in a second. Andre Southgate, what is going on with you, good brother? Andre Southgate doing great work over there on his channel. Definitely go check him out. My man Rob Acosta in the building, man. Big shout out to my bro. The best strength and conditioning coach in the game right now, man. Big shout out to Rob Acosta. Conrad Boxing in the building, man. Said, "Welcome back. Appreciate you, bro." He said, "Bet, yeah, let me know." I told Cruz, that's Cruz. I told Cruz, he predicted round 8 in the for the Bud fight. I told him he should have gotten the fantasy league. So I'm gonna send him the information. So Tree James fight this week. Said I was on. Hey man, listen. Hey Cruz. You know the thing that's crazy, man? I talk to Tree all the time, and I tell him, I said, just have faith. And the one thing he wanted was to get a home game. You know what I mean? He finally got a home game, so I'm happy for Tree. But listen, we gonna dive right into we gonna dive right in. Like we ain't gonna play around. We gonna dive right in.
Firstly, I want to say that I didn't even know Rob was in the chat. I will give this dude his flowers. Rob said verbatim, he said, "I feel if this fight is going to get stopped, Kenny's gonna throw the towel in. The ref ain't gonna stop it. The pool ain't gonna quit. Kenny is gonna throw the towel in. Kenny will stop it." That is exactly what Robert Costa said. So I have to give him credit for that, because when he said that, I was like, bro, you're tripping. Why the hell Kenny of all people is not gonna throw the towel in? He was bang on when he said that. He was bang on.
Big shout out to Rob Acosta, man. And For the people that don't know, Rob Acosta is a strength and conditioning coach for possibly the hottest
The
welterweight
most
out there.
athletic fighter in the world.
Yeah,
So
the
if you
most
want to know
athletic
why,
fighter in the world.
literally, if you want to know why this guy's so athletically gifted, well, he's got
He's
Robert Costa.
he got Rob Acosta in his corner, man. The best strength and conditioning coach in the business. And the reason why he's the best strength and conditioning coach in the business is because he has the most athletic boxer alive. And he's working with him directly, so that makes him the best strength and conditioning coach in the game. You understand what I'm saying?
I
And
just need
all
to hit you up with Anthony Yard when you come over to the
yeah,
UK, bro.
and the thing is, any boxers that's listening to this right now, if you need to get right, and I'm talking about get right, and I'm gonna take this clip and I'm gonna put it on Instagram and all that because this is definitely a commercial for Rob Acosta. If you trying to get right, and I mean you trying to get right, hit up my man Rob Acosta. Straight up facts, point blank, period. He don't miss. He don't miss. Big
I
shout out to
mean,
Rob Acosta.
just a quick backtrack, and just to stay on the topic of Robert Acosta, we gave him one. Wilder's whole entire camp went wrong, and all it took was Robert Costa 1 minute to identify why Wilder's camp went wrong. I don't want to go over the details, but he broke down the entire camp and the preparation why it went wrong, and he hit the nail on the head immediately from a
And
strength and conditioning perspective.
yeah, and
Fantastic.
I'm probably gonna re-drop that clip because people need to hear that. And we're in the business of talking to trainers and coaches and things like that, but we also care about the development of fighters, and it starts with the gym. Starts with the
Bro,
gym. You
you
know what I'm
just got a
saying?
future chat.
That's my baby right there. I'm gonna get to her in a second. That's my baby. But Rob Acosta, man, big shout out to you, man. Like we're big fans of what you do, man, and you deserve everything that's coming to you. Everything positive that's coming to you, you deserve it, man. Big shout out to you, bro. Blaze Philly 215. Kiki is in the building. What is going on, Kiki?
I have to say, well done for getting that. I have to still say the Kiko Martinez fight, but you're tripping. You were
Yeah,
tripping, thinking that Kid Gala, that Shawn
yo.
Porter was gonna beat Crawford.
You know the thing that's funny though, Kiki was probably having a drink off of my tab that I owed her for $80 when she made that Kiko
Bro,
Martinez decision. Well, what's up?
now there's a spider.
Oh, man, get that out of here, man. He said, send me the link. See, Blaze trying to get right into it. I got you, bro. Cruz, he said, let's get it. I'm ready like SpongeBob. I feel you. Hey, Rob Acosta, the name right above, Show Stewart, that's Cruz Hitman Stewart right there. That's the guy I was telling you about. That's the guy that I was telling you about. Cruz Hitman Stewart. Rob Acosta is boot strength and conditioning coach. I recommended you to him specifically when I talked to him. So if y'all want to, talk or whatever the case may be, man, if you're trying to get right, that's the man. William Gonzalez, man, big shout out to you. He said Porter didn't fight as hard as he did versus Spence. This was a
We're gonna
last
get into
bag
that,
fight.
and I'll
Spence
tell
will
you
beat
why he didn't.
Crawford. Yeah, Spence will beat Crawford. Kenny threw Tylen too early.
I'll
He
get into
said,
that in a
great
second.
job. I greatly appreciate you. Rob, listen, man. You tough, bro, for real. He said, I am the secret weapon. Hold on. I am the secret weapon. Pink Furry Goddess. I've been asking for her to jump on live for God knows how long. This is like a true boxing girl. For real, for real. Big shout out to Pink Furry Goddess with the $4.99 super chat. Said, I'm so excited for this weekend. Stephen Fulton versus Brandon Figueroa. Crawford looked spectacular last Saturday night. We're going to get into that.
There was nobody more excited than that fight than me and Jeff. I flew out to Philly for that fight before I even knew where the fight was gonna be.
Yeah.
Literally, that fight, me and Jeff wanted to see that fight from me so long.
From the start. So we're going to definitely get into that as well. Pink Furry Goddess, even if we don't get into that today, we're going to get into that before the week is out. But Pink Furry Goddess, listen, if you ever want to jump on this show, you ain't got to show your face, nothing like that. If you want to jump on and you want to chop it up,
I don't know why you would want to hide your face.
Yeah, she nice with it. She nice with it. She nice with it. I ain't gonna front. She nice with it. But if you want to jump on when we do our Stephen Fulton versus Brandon Figueroa show, please definitely let me know. I'll send you the link. I know a lot of times our schedule don't be matching and things like that, but we would love to have you on.
you can join the prediction league and
Absolutely.
predict that fight. You can predict
Absolutely.
that fight.
So
What
that's
we
a great
saying? What we saying?
that's
$100 for the perfect prediction.
yeah. So this is what we gonna do. So this is what we gonna do, and we gonna kick it off with Pink Furry Goddess. Since you gave us a super chat. So if you go to G5JeffTV.com, we have a boxing prediction fantasy league on G5JeffTV.com. Okay. It's a league where a bunch of people are on there and you're predicting how fights are going to turn out. And we're in season 2. We're in season 2. The winner of the league is going to get $500 in a
For
championship
free.
belt, and it's
For
free to join.
free.
It's free to join. Listen, I can't even do breakdown and prediction videos no more because I can't have y'all cheating off my paper. You understand what I'm saying? I can't even do the videos anymore. So definitely go to G5JeffTV.com. $500 for the winner and a championship belt for season 2. And a championship belt for season 2. That's what we doing. So I definitely need for y'all to go and register for that. Eric H, what's going on, big bro? He said, "What's bro prices?" A Cruz. I'm gonna give you Rob's number, and Rob, you tell me if that's cool, and I'm gonna link y'all two up, and then y'all can go chop up particulars and all that. But I think Cruz, I honestly think Rob Acosta can get you to the next level. Real rap, no BS. He said, Kiki, okay, I remember that live. Yeah, absolutely. Rob Acosta, thank you. Want me to get on later? Absolutely.
Definitely.
We gonna definitely. I'm gonna
send you the link. But we're gonna be on live for a while.
We're gonna be cooking for a minute.
We've been stifled for 3 hours. Well, I feel like a dude that just been in prison for 15 years. I just see the first chick, I'm ready.
Yeah, for real, man, for real. Kiki said, I sure did. That's so disrespectful, yo. Hey, we might have to run that back too. Last game of the season, man. My Birds looking good, man. I might have to put another 75 up. Said Kiki, only person on earth picking Kiko. Yeah, she was the only person picking Kiko. He said, but I told you she was drinking. I knew she was drinking, bro. I knew she was drinking. He said, y'all got me.
Yeah, you have to be drunk. You have to be drunk to make that.
Funny. Yo, D Hodges in the building, man. Big shout out to my guy, D Hodges.
D Hodges, you're climbing in the ladder. I see you climbing up the fantasy league table.
Yeah,
I see you climbing.
Is.
I see you climbing.
He is. Said D Hodges, Kiki, second Ezra in the building. What's going on,
shout
bro?
Out to you.
Kiki, D Hodges, Rob Acosta gave it the thumbs up. So Cruz, I'm gonna link y'all two up. I'm gonna link y'all two up, and I'm gonna let y'all figure it out, man. But I hope it can be worked out for sure. Kiki laughing, Pink Furry Goddess. I love listening to you while I'm working. Boxing is very important to me. Hey, listen, when I say this is something that we love to do, it's something that we love to do. Like for I think for us, I think I can speak for Shane as well. It's family. Then it's boxing. Right. It's family. Then it's boxing. You know what I mean?
And what makes it so nice is Jeff at this stage, like this dude is literally like my bigger brother, and I have no bigger brother, so Jeff is like my bigger brother. So it's like the fact that I can mix family with boxing as well, it just makes it even nice.
And just to kind of put some context on that, I talk to him more than my actual brother. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not into boxing like that. So a lot of times I'm talking to Shane. I had more conversations with Shane off camera than on camera, and we on camera 4+ days out of it.
I mean, if you keep it serious, there's no channel that's on live longer than us.
No,
there's no channel. You can say what you want about whatever channel, big or better, whatever. We'll be on live minimum 2 hours, maximum 3.5 hours. There's no channel that's doing that. But we're running lectures.
Yeah. So if you on the East Coast, just avoid going on at 5 o'clock. Avoid going on at 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock to 7. Just don't even go on. Like we're on. Period. That's just what it is. Like that's just what it is at the end of the day. Not drunk, but nice as hell. That's funny. That is funny. Bruce goes. Listen, Bruce goes. listen, Shane. A big shout
I
out to
be
Bruce
seeing the
Goes.
videos. I be seeing the videos. I be seeing the videos.
Bruce Goes. Yo, he did a live. His live was so dope, yo, and it was great seeing Bruce Goes and his background and the whole nine, man. I know Bruce Goes. I know you said that it's kind of like a hobby, but your lives don't look like a hobby, bro.
What I say to people, and me and Jeff said this off camera and on camera. So before people start jumping on the bandwagon, out of everybody we've had on live, the most professional voice that me and Jeff have heard on camera on any channel is Bruce Scholes.
Bruce
If you
Goes.
haven't heard Bruce Scholes' voice, bro, you could close your eyes and literally think you're listening to 70s
I
boxing. You
yeah,
literally think you're listening to 70s boxing.
Bruce Goes. Some people just have a signature sound. Bruce Goes can go, and this no cap. This is no cap. I've never talked to Bruce Goes like on the phone or anything like that. When I say Bruce Goes can go work for like the Zone right now, he could. He could go work for Showtime right now. He can work for any boxing telecast right
Right
now.
now,
Right
and
now.
literally sound more professional than anybody there.
Right
On my
now.
life. On
Right
my
now.
life.
Big shout out to Bruce Goes. That's my guy for real. Family of the channel. We fully support your movement as far as the channel is concerned, man. And we know you're gonna do
To
it
be
big.
fair, you were wasting yourself not having a channel of your own, bro. You were
Yeah,
actually wasting
but
yourself. On
but
God's
Bruce
green.
Goes. Here's the thing, bro. I wasted a lot of my time too, and I decided to just go, just go start a channel. But then Shane has developed as well because he used to think, I don't want to be on camera. I don't
Facts.
want to be on live. I don't want to have a channel. He still don't want to have a channel,
Nah.
but he loves the setup. He loves the setup. So it's this whenever you can get on and talk about something you love to talk about, man. Like that's the joy of it. Like that's the end all be all. Then you just let everything else fall into place, man. So I'm happy that you started the channel, man. Big supporters of it. We're gonna support you as much as we possibly can. Just because I mean, be honest, we just believe in you. Period.
Facts.
Like that's just what it
Facts.
come down to. We believe in you. Period, man. Continue to do your thing, man, and just enjoy the process. Enjoy the process. Burt Wood in the building. He said, "Who could beat Boots Ennis in this group?" Top 10 welterweight boxes. We're gonna get to that in a second. Matter of
Bro,
fact,
we're
we're
gonna
gonna run
get to
through
that.
these. We're gonna run through these and then we're
And
gonna
then
get started.
start. Yeah, yeah.
Bruce Goes said, appreciate you. D Hodges, Bruce Goes. Uh he said, I didn't know that you went live. I subbed now. Yeah, Bruce Goes,
Facts.
his
You need to
Kiki,
go
his
check that
joint.
out, bro.
Yeah, need to go check that out. That thing
Official.
official. Bruce Goes, D Hodges, Bruce Goes, Kiki, D Hodges, Bruce Goes. Okay.
So yeah, let's kick it off.
Let's get down. Let's get down to
Can I give my tactical analysis of how I
So
thought the
let me
fight went?
introduce you right though. My man VP Shane. This is the first time that we talked about the Bud Crawford, Shawn Porter fight. Afterwards. And I'm gonna give Shane the red carpet. I'm gonna give him the floor. I just need your technical analysis of what you seen in that fight from beginning to end. I'm gonna sit back and listen, man. Talk to me.
So from the first round, it was very clear that Crawford was in a ring with someone who also had extreme foot placement from the first round. If you watch Terence Crawford's fights, and I've watched literally nearly every Terence Crawford fight, this dude has always been technically better than every opponent in terms of foot placement. Immediately, I realized Shawn's foot placement and foot speed, especially transitional foot speed, is faster than anyone who would have ever been in the ring with. Not to mention the fact that his head movement was fantastic. If you didn't know, throughout the entire fight, Crawford landed 3 jabs in the orthodox stance. 3 jabs only. From the first round to the last round, he only landed 3 orthodox jabs. So immediately he realized in order for him to get any success, he had to switch southpaw. He switched southpaw earlier than he normally does, and he switched in the second round. Midway through the second round, he switched. Once he started switching southpaw, instead of throwing the jab, he started throwing the slapping right hand and the backhand left. Now, eventually, he realized he was going for the headshot and he was missing, and Shawn Porter was kind of making him pay, but mainly outworking him. Crawford wasn't really landing anything clean. After 3 rounds, Porter was really outworking him, and Crawford was still trying to figure out the dimensions. Fourth round is where he changed it. He stopped leading with headshots, and he started to invest money. He started to invest the shots to the body. He threw this slapping left, right hand, backhand to the body, and that was literally his bread and butter for the next 4 rounds. Backhand left, backhand right, slapping right hand, backhand left straight, backhand backhand left straight, all the way to the body. Kept throwing it, different angles, different angles. When I saw that the fight was going to change was in the 6th round. In the 6th round, what we saw was Shawn Porter wasn't coming forward as aggressively as he was early in the fight. Now he never came forward like how he came forward against Spence at any stage. But at that stage, he started to take steps back. The reason why is because he started to feel the what's it called? The the effects of the body punches. Now, someone earlier in the chat said the reason why they were saying that Shawn Porter did not come forward like how he came forward against Errol Spence. And I'll tell you why. Me and Jeff talk about this one flaw that Errol Spence has, which is he lets you punch, then he will punch. That is a problem Errol Spence has. He don't punch in between shots. And Crawford was punching in between shots. What that done was it made Shawn Porter have to worry about what was coming back at him. If you look at every single time Shawn Porter's been dropped, when Broner dropped him, the 2 times Crawford dropped him, and the 1 time Spence dropped him was when he was throwing in between Shawn Porter's flurries. Every other time in that fight, Errol Spence will wait until Shawn Porter was finished, and then he will throw his shots. You can't do that against Shawn Porter. And Crawford made that adjustment in the 4th round. And from the 4th round onwards, you can tell that Crawford was trying to load up on punches to wear him down. After round 7, and I thought round 7 was the last round that Porter won, I thought the tide was turning because he wasn't coming forward with the same relentless pressure that he was in the 1st and 2nd round.
Right.
The 8th round, he really it was his last throw at the dice. His 9th round, he kept his hands in his pocket. At that stage, I clearly saw a Shawn Porter who was looking at himself like there was nothing else that he had left to show. He gave his all and he showed his hand. And Crawford was still answering everything he had to throw. When the 10th round came out, I could tell that he was wearing down because his dad would have sent him out there, show me something. The last thing you want to do is send a fighter out there against a dude who is landing more shots now than he was earlier when you were fresh. And that's what you saw, a dude get worn down and eventually get figured out. And that was a brilliant tactical adjustment that Crawford made. And yeah, that's how I thought the fight went.
That was a great breakdown. And for the people that don't know Shane and myself, I have to let Shane talk first. Because a lot of times, like if I go first, I'll probably steal everything he was getting ready to say. So I let him go first, and then I kind of just adjust off of that. So I'm just gonna add maybe like a few more points to what Shane stated. But he stated a lot of the things that I wanted to say. The one thing about Shawn, and I'm gonna focus more on Shawn and Bud, because I think Bud did what I expected for him to do. Shawn, and I talked to Padman McGriff about this a little bit earlier on IG Live. Big shout out to Padman McGriff. It almost seemed like Shawn Porter didn't prepare for the southpaw stance. Like it almost seemed like he didn't prepare for the southpaw stance. I'm gonna tell you why. The first round, the jab was beautiful. Shawn was pumping the jab. Jab was beautiful, and the thing was, the elite fighters, they throw a jab to the head just to get the jab to the body that they want. I love fighters that end their combinations either with a jab or with a body shot. And that's what Shawn was doing early in the fight. Once Terrence Crawford went southpaw, and then Terrence Crawford actually started going into the high guard and actually started trying to walk Shawn down, Shawn stopped jabbing. So regardless of what Bud was doing offensively, he accomplished the one thing that I say that you have to do with any aggressive fighter. You make them think before they walk through that front door.
Right.
You make them think before they walk through that front door. When they know, when the aggressive fighter know they got to pay an admission fee before they walk into that front door, and you get them thinking before they start charging, you
They
done
keep their
won
hands
half
in
of
their
the.
pocket.
They keep their hands in their pocket. You done won half of the battle. So just with him switching to southpaw, going into a high guard and walking forward, he took away the one thing that Shawn Porter needed to win the fight, which was the jab. Shawn Porter stays in a lot of fights because he surprisingly out jabs a lot of his guys. All of that stopped. So what he started doing is he started charging in and trying to find Terrence Crawford. So not only was he trying to know, not only did he have to pay an admission fee to come in the door, when he got in the door, he had to find out where the party was at. You understand what I'm saying? He had to find out where the party was. So there's a lot of questions. You understand what I'm saying?
Fact. And the reason, before we get to the comments, the reason why what Jeff said is so important is because what Shawn Porter does is after his flurries, he uses his jab to get a break.
Right.
Because that takes a lot of energy to just be coming forward. You be rushing, get a little bit of work off, then back on the jab, get a bit of a breather, then rush in again. When you don't have that jab, a dude's gonna make you work when you want to rest.
Right.
Best fighters do that.
Right. Absolutely. And that's what Bud did early. Did a lot of investing to the body. And it was at times in the fight where Bud let Shawn know, like, listen, this, you're not gonna be muscling me around the ring.
I think he done it from the first round.
Yeah, he did it from the first round, but I'm talking about in terms of when they got into clinches. Sometimes he literally like picked Shawn up and put him on the ropes. Like sometimes you got to do that with an aggressive guy like that to let him know, like, listen, it ain't gonna be no muscling around. It kind of reminded me of the Kell Brook fight. Kell Brook stood there and was just like, if we got to wrestle in the middle of this ring, like that's what we gonna do, but you're not gonna be bullying me around. So Terrence Crawford spent the first quarter of the fight letting Shawn know, like, listen, I'm gonna take away your jab, and then I'm gonna let you know you ain't gonna be moving me around like that. Once he established that, and then he started investing to the body,
it was always gonna be a long night.
Yeah, Bud's whole game plan was to take Shawn out late. That was his whole game plan, and it worked to perfection. It worked to absolute perfection because what was happening is when he was catching Shawn Porter with shots on the inside, he was setting up that uppercut. So the whole fight, he was throwing that shot to the gut, that left hand to the gut, to the stomach,
that backhand to the stomach,
that backhand to the stomach. He was setting that up the whole night because he kept on throwing it. He didn't give him the uppercut until he actually landed it and knocked him down. He didn't turn it. He didn't turn it over until
he missed it. Even if he missed with the right hand, he still made that backhand come. The whole fight.
And the thing is, the uppercut wasn't even as clean as it could have been. Right. But he put so much work into it, and Shawn didn't see it coming. And it put him down. So it was really about what Bud prepared from beginning to end, and it takes a lot of patience, and it takes a lot of trust in your own ability and your own physical talent. A lot of skill, a lot of physical talent, a lot of strength. Just faith in your conditioning. It takes a lot for Bud to do what he did. It took a lot, and we salute Bud for that. But let's get into this next. Let me get in these comments real quick, and then I'm gonna get into the next topic I want to get into. Dwayne Sewell in the building, man. He said, "Yo, my peoples, big shout out to you, bro. D Hodges, Conrad, Bruce Schools, D Hodges, Andre Southgate, no doubt, Bruce Schools. You enjoy the channel, brother."
Wait, Andre Southgate, you're the top of the fantasy league right now.
Andre Southgate is on top of the league right now. Big shout out to him, man. Okay, Andre Southgate, Conrad Boxing, Andre back on top of the league. Good picks. Yeah, he back on top. Dwayne Sewell, Bruce Schools gonna support your channel. Go support Bruce Schools, man. Like he's one of my favorites, man. Like for sure. Just subbed. Yeah, Bruce Schools, that guy, man, for sure. Conrad, best breakdown I've heard so far. Appreciate you.
That's what we do.
That's what we do. Like, yeah, that's what we do. And we got to keep the breakdown short because we got to get into so many other things. Toshi in the building. Is Toshi in the league, yo?
Bro, how do you see the way he's in the league, bro? He picked 10th round. He picked the 10th round. He's high in the league, bro.
Wow,
He's like fourth or
Toshi,
something. Like
Toshi.
fourth.
He
He's got
said I
like
called
9
it 10th
points.
round. Yo, that's what's up, man. Adrian in the building, man, saying Crawford was patient,
He's
especially
high in
when
the league
Porter.
as well.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
like
yeah,
top 5.
for sure. Adrian said Crawford was patient, especially when Porter back was near the ropes and was trying to turn him the way he did Spence. Cruz, he should have paused it like I do with Truex. My manager gets on me because I used to use a rangefinder, but he should have stuck to the jab. He definitely should have stuck to the jab.
Facts. Facts.
Second Ezra, Crawford reduced Porter to a desperate fighter in the later rounds. Yeah, that was surgical. What he did later on. Toshi said, "Great breakdown for sure." Yes, I'm Rigo.
Yeah,
Um,
that's him. That's him.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So the thing that I want to get into next is, and I want to get people's opinions in the comment section too. Um, and I'm gonna let Shane kick it off, but before I give my opinion on it, how did you guys feel about the stoppage? Did you like the stoppage by Kenny Porter? Did you dislike the stoppage by Kenny Porter? And also, how did you feel about his comments in the ring directly after the fight? That's for the people in the comment section. I want for y'all to give us your take on that. But Shane, I'm gonna give you the red carpet again, brother. Go ahead and kick your spiel, bro.
So original now, me and Jeff spoke about this already, and I'll tell you this: watching the fight, I have a perspective of I'm gonna put why I think I would have why I don't mind seeing a stoppage like that because the last 2 rounds, so round 8 and round 9, it was Porter was getting hit more in those rounds. You can check the punch stats, you can check, but visibly you could see that he was getting hit more in those rounds than in any other round. And also, round 9, Shawn Porter really didn't have any offense. He really didn't really land much in round 9. You could even, I think, Andre Ward even said, "Oh, he needs to." It looks like Shawn Porter's taking a round off, and I thought that as well because he really didn't throw nothing in round 9. Now, after a round like that and the fight's close with 3 rounds left, you go to your corner. Your cornerman's going to tell you, you need to show me something. Because at this stage, you just lost the last 2 rounds. You're getting caught with shots that you haven't been caught with before in the fight. So you're going to think, go out, show me something. The first 10 seconds he gets knocked down, you start to question, wait, maybe he didn't take those rounds off and he was actually feeling the body shots. Let's see how his legs are after. He then tries to come forward and throw shots, but his legs can't keep him up. He gets knocked down again. Now at that stage, you look at the landscape. The fight's close, but now that's a 10-7 round. So not only are you going into those next 2 rounds with a massive disadvantage, but you're going into those next 2 rounds you probably have no chance of winning those next 2 rounds because the momentum had turned. You lost the last 2 rounds, you lost this round, and the next 2 rounds you're going down on a massive deficit. So the chances of you winning has now massively reduced, and the chance of you getting hurt and stopped and getting knocked out has massively increased. At that stage, I understand. I'm not saying I agree, but I understand why you throw in the towel. Where I disagree is I don't think that was Kenny Porter's logic when he threw in the towel. Personally, I think his logic of him throwing in the towel was he felt like his son had been disobedient to him, so therefore, as a punishment, I'm going to throw in the towel. Because the first thing he said was, he didn't say I was trying to preserve Shawn Porter, which a father and a trainer would do. He said Shawn Porter didn't train well enough, which therefore means you are trying to punish him for his lack of training. And
Right.
that's what I disagree with. So that's
Yeah.
my perspective.
Yeah. Let me add on to that, and just to let you guys know before I actually get into that. For the people that think Shane and I just agree on absolutely everything, I'm gonna record one of our conversations we have off camera. You get the clean version on camera, but it get rugged off camera. So
Facts.
we talked about this, and the reason why I like talking to Shane is because he usually gives a perspective that's not on my radar, and I'll give him a perspective that's not on his. So we come to a common ground, even if we're arguing. Here's the thing. Um, any other fighter, right? Any other fighter that is going through something like that, and I didn't think what Bud was doing to Porter was brutal. And there's a difference between getting beat up and brutal. Like Triple G Gabe Rosado was brutal. You understand what I'm saying? Like that was brutal. Um, this was a situation. This was a good old fashioned ass whooping that was going down over the last 2 rounds. Right now, usually I'll say the quality of the fighter or the history of the fighter. I say, okay, listen, I'm gonna let my guy go. I'm gonna let my guy go. He's deserved an opportunity to, quote unquote, go out on his shield. Now, the thing with Kenny Porter, and I'm going to kind of go off on a little tangent here. Um, this is what I didn't like about Kenny Porter, right? Kenny Porter, you don't expose your son to the cameras. If he had a bad training camp or the training camp didn't go exactly how you wanted
You
it to
wanted it.
go, that's in house. That's
Facts.
as my man Blunt would say, that's town business. That's town business, and you keep that in house. You do not throw your son underneath the bus in front of the cameras, in public, and to the public. You do not do that. Not as a father, not as a man, not as a trainer, none of that. You don't do that. Like you don't do that. Point blank, period. Shawn's career, even if he was dead wrong during training camp, Shawn Porter's been such a stand-up fighter his whole career. No positive drug tests. Maximize his talent. Fought against absolutely everybody. He didn't deserve that, yo. He didn't deserve that. Point blank, period. He did not deserve his father to throw him under the bus like that. And on top of that, the worst type of throwing somebody under the bus is when you throw your damn self under the bus at the same time. If he didn't have a good training camp, that's an indictment on you. If he didn't train well, I'm like, Coach Larry Wade is one of the best strength and conditioning coaches in the world. You done threw him under the bus. All because you didn't like the way he was training, and you stopped
But
that fight because it was a punishment. You
yeah,
stopped that fight because it was a punishment at the end of the day.
but
And grown men don't do that.
where I feel like that was dumb of Kenny Porter even more is when I look at the landscape of the fight, it was almost like he worshipped Terence Crawford. That's what it looked like to me. It looked like Kenny Porter almost worshipped Terence Crawford because even all of that shoe shining after the fight, oh, you're a great fighter. I know you've been all of that. That's all shoe shining, bro. In preparation to the fight, all of that shoe shine. To me, it's like you saw a great fighter starting to show great skills, and you thought, you know what? I kind of don't even want to see my son win this fight no more or in this fight anymore. Because the reason I'm saying that is because what in that fight showed me that Shawn Porter had a bad training camp. To me, I looked at that fight and there was mentally Shawn Porter lost that fight. He did not lose that fight based on his athleticism or his speed or anything, or he mentally lost that fight. I would say the game plan wasn't that great, but that's all to do with the coach. Coach formulate game plans. Coach
Yeah.
make sure their fighters are mentally prepared. If he does this, make sure you do this. When he does this, make sure you do that. This is not. It's not all blood and guts. That's not boxing. Boxing is if you see the man switch, do this. If you see the dude do this, do that. That's technically and tactically trying to break a fight. Ain't about blood, sweat, and tears and giving all your heart and
I
hunger. Bro, that ain't gonna win you a fight.
I and to add on to that, um, like Shawn Porter arguably was winning that fight up into the knockdowns. He was arguably winning that fight up into the knockdowns. I'm gonna wait till Shane get back because I want him to hear this.
Nah, I'm still here. I just
You
got
can
my
stop.
headphones in.
Okay. Shawn Porter. A lot of people had Shawn Porter winning that fight at the time of the knockdowns. I'm talking before the 9th round. And the thing is, even Bomac told Bud before the 9th round, you might be down on the cards. That's what he said in the corner. You're doing great work. Hey, Shane, you doing dishes, bro?
No, I'm getting some ice in my drink.
Oh, well, that's what it sounds like. Hold on a second. Shane sound crazy right now. Yeah, but Bomac told Bud, hey, you might be losing a fight. I had to put your ass on mute. It was killing
Getting
me.
some ice in my drink.
Okay. Yeah, but that's what Bomac said to Crawford. Like, yo, like you might be losing this fight. You might be down on the cards. And Bud decided to turn up at the end of the day. So Shawn didn't lose because of lack of preparation. I'm like, he lost to a better fighter that had a better game plan going into the fight. Basically, Bomac out-schemed Kenny Porter. Bomac out-schemed Kenny Porter. And Bomac ended up being the better trainer and the better coach in fight because he had the better fighter in fight. You understand what I'm saying? So Terrence Crawford was able to actually process what Bomac was telling him to do, and he followed the game plan to a T. When you actually watch Shawn Porter fight, Shawn Porter was winning that fight off of will alone.
Willpower.
Willpower alone.
And his natural God-given athleticism.
Yeah,
God-given athleticism.
That's what was winning him the fight. Kenny Porter wasn't winning Shawn the fight. There was nothing Kenny Porter was saying in between rounds that was giving Shawn Porter an advantage.
Nope.
Not at all. Not at all.
But his transition speed, his foot transition speed was flawless. There's no fighter in the division that has faster transitional speed than Shawn Porter. You don't get that from coaching. You just get that from God's gift. That's a God gift.
That's a God gift at the end of the day. And the thing with Shawn, yeah, as far as his training camps or whatever the case may be, let me add this. And we say this all the time. If you're talking about retirement, you're already retired.
You're retired.
So just to show you how good Shawn is, Shawn basically let the cat out the bag that he was going to retire after the fight period. So essentially, he was a retired fighter in the ring. Shawn Porter was arguably up on the cards, a retired fighter, quote unquote, against a pound for pound top 3 fighter in the world. That's how good Shawn is. With a bad training camp at all, he was still up on the cards. That's what makes Kenny Porter look like a goddamn fool for what he said. Point blank, period. Point blank, period. And I don't, and you know, I don't call guys out. But every stand-up dude that I done talked to, every single one of them said the same thing. Kenny Porter was dead wrong for that shit. He was dead wrong for that shit. And it wasn't the fact that he stopped the fight. It was he let the cat out the bag why he stopped the fight. And you threw your guy underneath the bus. We're going to get into the comments real quick. Burt Wood, he said, no disrespect. So we're going to run through the comments, but we're going to address them. Burt Wood, no disrespect, but I would not say Crawford pound for pound best. Toshi, neutral on stoppage. Critics father. Yeah, Toshi said neutral on stoppage. Critics from father unnecessary. Second Ezra, bad stoppage. Cruz said I agree. That's how both Kenny and Shawn get paid. When Shawn steps into the ring, Crawford ends careers. So if he continued, there will be no more of Porter. I agreed.
That's fair.
That's fair. Dwayne Sewell said, I disagree with the stoppage because the fight was in the balance and he wasn't badly hurt. He just made a silly mistake and he could have changed things still in fight.
I disagree with that. I strongly disagree with that. Because watching that fight, I just thought the momentum had shifted. It's not even just the stoppage, bro. The fact that he lost the last 2 rounds so comfortable. Round 9 was so comfortable. Round 81, he lost as well. And I was looking at it like, you're getting hit with more shots than ever. then you get knocked down twice and you're not responding with punches. I thought there's no chance of you winning this fight, bro. I thought there's no chance of you winning this fight now.
Chris G said the trainer telling the world this guy didn't train good is the trainer's fault. Laughing. That's a fact, though. That's a fact.
No such thing as a bad student.
I don't know if you laughing with me or laughing at me, but if you laughing at me, you're wrong because that's the truth. Dwayne Sewell, I had Shawn up going into the 10th.
That's it. I had it 5-4. I had it 5-4, and I watched it. I watched the fight back, and I had it 5-4 to Bud.
Yeah, see, I had it 5-4 Porter.
But there was one round I still don't know who won, and that's round 6.
Okay.
But the first time I watched it, I gave it to Porter. Second time I watched it, I gave it to Bud. So
I feel you. Andre Southgate, didn't like the stoppage, but Bud would have finished Porter. Finished on Porter wasn't composed when he got knocked down the second time. Disagreed with his father's speech, though. Man, I was shocked at the disrespect. It was disrespectful. Very disrespectful. Padman, big shout out to my man Padman McGriff, man. He said also he got comfortable being a boxing analyst, which pays very well also.
He's a great boxing analyst.
He's a great boxing analyst. And I think that's part of the reason why he was talking retirement. I think that's part of the reason why he's talking retirement at the end of the day.
You got one of those young dogs coming up, dudes that
them young pups, Virgil Ortiz. Yeah, them young pups, man. He ain't want to be wrestling with them young pups.
Stain Jonas, Conor Ben, all of those young
Conor Ben, Blair Flair, Cobbs, all those guys.
Literally.
Second Ezra, I had Porter up. I had Porter up too. Padman said, why would you quit because of your pops making a bad call? So for him to quit, he just took his father's career away as well. And who else? Hold on. Who else? This is for the training. I'm trying to think of them. I don't think Kenny don't have anybody else. Like I see what you're saying, Pat, man. Like he don't have anybody else. He said I seen it all going down in practice when he was sparring and it wasn't looking good. And Padman actually got insight on that because he actually knows the person that Shawn was actually sparring, a kid named Maurice Lee. But Shane, I'll talk to you about that off camera.
Right.
Toshi said even the crowd booed Kenny Porter. Yeah, it was disrespectful. It was hella disrespectful. If and I don't know who we're gonna run into as far as the podcast and who's gonna come on. Like if we ever got a chance to interview Shawn or interview Kenny, like I would, whether it's on camera or off camera, I would tell him flat out, like, yo, I didn't like that moment, man. Like I wish it didn't happen. Because I think sometimes you can have a good person can have a bad moment. And I think Kenny seems like a good guy, and I think he had a bad moment at the end of the day. And it was sad to hear because I was just like, that he supports his son because he's been in his son's life since day one. So I think he was just in dad mode, and I don't think he was trying to be malicious, but he was just in dad mode. Like you could tell he's almost like a military type of father. Like he's all about discipline and things like that.
He wanted to punish his son.
He wanted to punish his son, but you don't punish him in front of the world like that. You don't punish him in front of the world. Because I'm like, what he said after that fight hurt more than any punch Bud threw at him. Every punch Bud landed didn't hurt more than those words that Kenny Porter said, man. And that's probably the biggest thing that I was saying in regards to Kenny Porter. And that's with all due respect. That's what
because before the fight, me and Jeff spoke about this on camera as well. We said Kenny Porter is a good dude for Anthony Joshua in terms of installing discipline and being firm. I don't want no one in the corner that's going to be telling you things that's nice, but he's almost too aggressive, too what's the word? Confronting. He's almost too much like that. And that can also be counterproductive. Counterproductive.
Yeah. Conrad said how you react in difficult situations show you how you really are. Lost a lot of respect for Kenny. Conrad, the thing is he didn't do himself any favors trying to get other clients. He didn't do himself any favors. And we're not saying that he's wrong for thinking the way he's thinking. We're saying that he's wrong because he put it out there in public. Some things if you notice, I say to Shane all the time, that's a conversation off camera. I tell him that probably like 3 times every show. I'm like, yo, we got to talk about that off camera. Some stuff is not for the cameras. We being live with maybe 25, 30 people tops in the live. And I'm like, I still tell Shane, like, yo, that's a conversation off camera. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you don't do that as a man, and you don't do that as a father to your son, man. I will forever disagree with that. Pat, man, they were arguing with each other when I was there, bro. It was horrible. Wow.
And I'm not even surprised.
I ain't even surprised, man. But see, the thing is, though, Pat, man, the old Shawn Porter didn't have no kid. The old Shawn Porter ain't had no family. The old Shawn Porter was still living with his dad late in his 20s. You understand what I'm saying? Because he was dedicated to the sport. He was dedicated to the grind. He was dedicated to his father. So of course, things change when you have a kid. You have a wife now. You have a family. You have an analyst gig that you're very good at. The dimensions change. It's up to Kenny to adjust to his new dimensions.
And also, the biggest thing is, when you look at the landscape, Shawn is the breadwinner in that relationship.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. At the end of the day, you don't throw him under the bus like that. So you want to know how I look, Shane? You want to know how I look? If you're willing to throw your son under the bus, what you think you're going to do to somebody that's not your son?
Facts.
It's a bad look all the way around.
It's different if it's someone like Bomac. And Bomac goes, Jamel Herring, you need to be focused more. You know why? Because at the end of the day, he's telling you, knowing that this dude's got other dudes in the camp. He's telling you because there is no personal indictment against him. You see my point? Because at the end of the day, you can't throw your best example of work under the bus.
Right.
Shawn Porter is your best example of work of what you can do as a trainer.
That's your best body of work.
That is like Leonardo da Vinci throwing the Mona Lisa under a bus. Yeah. It don't make sense, bro. It actually don't make sense.
It don't
or
make
Robert
no
McCracken throwing Anthony Joshua under the bus. Bro, you want to be signing unemployment checks for the rest of your life? Is that what you want to be doing?
Like you don't. I don't understand it. I'm like, you threw yourself under the bus. You threw Coach Larry Wade underneath the bus. I'm like, you gave the world insight on some private matters that should have stayed off camera, and you brought it on camera. I just ain't like nothing about it. I wonder if he wish he never said it. I would love to ask him that. Like, I wonder if he could take it back. Does he wish he could take it back?
With the tension, you have to say this though. With the tension that Padman has said, and what we can clearly see was prevalent in the camp, you gotta commend how well Shawn Porter done in the ring.
But that's why I said that's how good Shawn Porter is. He was a retired fighter with a troubled camp, and he was still up before the 9th round or before the 10th round
against someone so great.
But then it goes to show you how good Bud is too. It goes to show you how good Bud is.
Bud beat Spence. That's where
we're gonna get into. We're gonna get into that in a second. And listen, it's so much going on. I have to break down this live in the segments because my phone is blowing up right now. People trying to get on. So I'm gonna do this in spots. Let me get through these few comments real quick. Andre Southgate, the fact that Kenny saying that he may as well win in blindfolded was complete disrespect. Porter put up a good fight as always. Porter was up. Porter was up. Burt was, so we are saying Porter did not lose happy ending. Dad quit. Burt Wood, what we're saying is Kenny Porter was just wrong for the reasons why he stopped it. It was selfish reasons, and it had everything to do with him. Everything to do with him, and it had nothing to do with what was going on with the fight.
If the first thing he said was, you know what, this is my son, and I want to keep him safe. Now, we might want to disagree with that, but he has a right as a father to make that decision.
That. Correct.
And I could not. That's why I said, honestly, if that was the reason, I could understand. But that wasn't the reason.
Yo, the thing is, like, anybody that's familiar with Dave Chappelle and when the episode of When Keeping It Real Goes Wrong, that's exactly what that was. When Keeping It Real Goes Wrong. Hold on. He said, "Would you pay for a rematch, Bud Porter 2?" I wouldn't
Nah.
pay for it. I wouldn't pay for it. A lot of people didn't pay for it because I'm gonna keep it a bean. The majority of the people was streaming it live on Instagram. Like you didn't even
I,
have to buy it, to be honest with
I,
you. But
I,
it's
I,
yeah.
I wouldn't pay for it because the fight would start where round 6 started, which is which is Crawford had already. I would never want Crawford to ever be in a rematch because Crawford solves puzzles.
Yeah.
Unless you're a master adjuster, don't fight Crawford in a rematch because he
Yeah.
solves puzzles.
Yeah. Crawford. Andre said Crawford the man. Yeah, he that dude, man. He that dude. So all right, so we're gonna go into this next question, and then is a couple people actually want to get on live. I can't keep y'all on too long, because I do gotta work tonight. So
Oh, fair enough.
we can't be on here all goddamn night. We gonna be on here all week. I guarantee you that is gonna be. And hold on, and I'm going on Thanksgiving. I don't give a damn if it's Thanksgiving. Get your plate of food and just come sit down. Get a plate of
What
food and
day's
sit your ass
Thanksgiving?
down.
What
Thursday.
day's Thanksgiving's on
Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah, so sit
I
your
didn't
ass.
even know that. I didn't even know that.
Get a plate of food, sit your ass down and listen to the podcast.
We don't have Thanksgiving in the UK, to be honest.
Listen, ain't no Thanksgiving here neither. We going live. Real shit. No holidays for sure.
We already got a goddamn holiday for the last 6 days, bro.
6 days. You done got 6 days off. So it's
Involuntary
in
holiday, bro.
voluntary holiday, exactly. So for the people that's listening in the chat, and the only reason I'm saying for y'all to put it in the comment section, because y'all act like y'all scared to get on live with us. Spence Crawford, who wins and why? Um, who wins and why? Shane, do you want to go first, or you want me to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Go ahead.
I have always thought Spence loses to Porter. I've all not loses to Crawford, sorry. And the reason why I feel like he loses to Crawford is purely and simply because to me, I really feel footwork. No fighter can win a fight unless you got Wilder power, Viterbian power, New Age power, Tank power. You can't win a fight without good foot placement. Does Spence have the technical ability to outbox Crawford? Hell no. Does he have the power to stop Crawford? In my opinion, no. I haven't. This dude couldn't even stop Mikey Garcia, so I don't see how he's going to be stopping Crawford. Now, how else does Spence win? You're assuming he's going to try and outwork him, wear him down. In order for you to do that, you're going to have to cut off the ring, and you're going to have to wear Crawford down with your foot placement and your foot movement. The one thing I will say is Crawford does like to fight as well. And he does give his opponents more opportunity than they need to have, which is a benefit for Spence because sometimes Crawford likes to prove a point and he fights with a chip on his shoulder and he tries to almost play macho. In that fight, I would say, you know what? Check that at the door. But in the Shawn Porter fight, the reason why I feel like that was a good idea was because he was actually missing with his jab. Against Errol Spence, he ain't going to miss with nothing. Because Errol Spence has got horrendous head movement and absolutely horrendous foot placement. No, foot speed. I won't say he's got horrendous foot placement, but his foot speed is real bad. Real bad. Like his cut off the ring game is real bad. So Crawford, most of the shots he throws, he's going to land against Errol. So I just don't see what Errol can do. Plus, Errol ain't that great at adjusting. Errol's got one style, and he's gonna ride that style until the rules fall off.
Yeah, they gonna be in your DMs after that opinion, Shane.
They can say what they want, bro. Yeah, but everything I say is in facts. Everything I say is in facts.
Man, listen. I'm gonna follow up with that. I think Bud beats Spence. I felt that 2 years ago. Um, I'm gonna tell you what Spence does very well. Spence, he sets the table very well.
Mhm.
You know, you set the table with the jab. You set the table with the jab.
Right.
You set the table with the distance. That allows him to get his body shots off, and that allows him to do what he needs to do on the inside, land those short shots. Everything that Spence does well, I've never seen anybody accomplish that against Bud. So the reason why I like Bud in this fight, and you have to give technical reasons why you like who you like in this fight, because so many people are so pro Spence that you have to give technical reasons. So the reason why I like Bud in this fight, number one, the fact that Bud will go southpaw will not limit Spence's jab, but it will diminish the effectiveness of it. A southpaw's jab is not as effective against another southpaw. You
Unless you're
understand what
good
I'm
at
saying?
throwing it at angles.
Unless you're throwing it at angles, and Spence throws his jab extremely straight.
Straight.
He throws it up and down, but he throws it straight. Secondly, Spence does do a good job with cutting the ring off, but that comes with an asterisk. Comes with an asterisk. He's good at cutting the ring off simply because guys come into the ring with Spence backing up. They're not
Mhm.
thinking about foot placement. They're not thinking about beating Spence in a battle with a footwork. They're trying to battle Spence footwork wise to get out of the way.
Literally.
Bud ain't gonna be trying to get out of the way. You understand what I'm saying? He's
Just
not trying to get
circle.
out of the way. Yeah, he's just gonna circle. So Bud has quicker hands. He got quicker
Quicker
feet.
feet.
His foot
Better.
placement is better than Spence's, and he's more versatile with the footwork as well. He has the ability to go southpaw. He has the ability to go orthodox, and
There's the ability to
it's
fight off the back foot, front foot. Well,
yeah,
front foot will be a bit difficult against Spence. I
yeah.
think the front foot will be
He
difficult
can
against
fight off
Spence.
the back foot. He can fight off the back foot, and I think the reason why I like Bud in this fight is when you're dealing with a guy like Spence, it's very important to make him think before he walk in that front door. And ain't nobody gonna make him think more before walking in the front door than Bud. He was
Then
thinking
Bud.
a lot. He was thinking a lot when he was in the ring with Shawn, and it took him 7 rounds to figure out the distance, and it took him 9, 10
Even
rounds to actually execute.
even Kell Brook, he was thinking about walking. He didn't walk through the
Yeah,
front door just
on
like that
Kell
against
Brook
Kell
neither.
Brook neither.
Yeah, I listen. I don't care. I don't care what anybody say. If you like Spence, that's cool, no problem. But if Bud goes in there and he do what Bud do, uh, Bud could Bud could really put on a show against Spence. And
I
another thing,
personally think after 10 rounds,
Bud could be up
Bud and
6-3.
Bud and Porter will be closer than
I
Bud and Spence. I'm being
Spence,
dead serious.
I think the thing with Bud, here's the thing with Bud that I like um against Spence. Bud goes downstairs and upstairs. And a lot of times Spence is open for shots, but nobody takes advantage of it because nobody's willing to stand there and actually be in the pocket with him. Like
But
Bud is gonna be in the pot. Bud is gonna be in the pocket with him, and he's gonna be circling
Spence
around. He's gonna be doing his thing.
Spence has got the Wilder syndrome as well. When he goes downstairs, he is so obvious that he's going downstairs.
Yeah,
Like it is so obvious that
and
it is.
he's never been in the ring with anybody that's gonna make him pay body shots for headshots.
Oh yeah,
And
that's a fact. That's a
yeah,
fact.
so it's a lot of reasons why I like Bud against Spence, but I want to make this clear. There's not anything from that Bud and Porter fight that made me believe any more or any less that Bud is going to win the fight against
Because it's
Spence.
a different style. It's the
It's
same
just a
thing with
whole
the boot
different style.
situation.
Yeah,
The
it's a
same
whole
thing with
different
the boot
style.
situation.
Yeah, it's a whole different style at the end of the day. I think Bud beat Spence. Somebody had to convince me otherwise, because I'm like, as far as I'm concerned, as far as my boxing eye, like lab coat type shit, that's like if Bud is on, like I mean, like he's on, that's an 8-4 fight to me. And that's no
Facts.
disrespect to Spence. And I don't think Spence is the same guy physically anyway. You deal
Well,
with a
all the
car accident like that
inactivity.
and an inactivity, the car accident, the detached retina, all that. I don't think he's the same guy physically. So you combine all of that with all of the technical things that Bud brings to the table. If Bud is on his game, that's an
Plus, he's
8-4
way
fight.
more. Plus, he's way more acclimatized to the weight than he was when we first. Like when he was fighting you that Amir Khan, like really and truly, he didn't really have the battle test at
He's
147.
he's 6-0 with 6 knockouts at welterweight. He's 6-0 with 6 knockouts at welterweight. So full-fledged welterweight,
Yeah,
acclimated to the weight.
full-fledged
Full-fledged.
weight.
You understand what I'm saying?
I have
But
to answer this because go on.
Dwayne Sewell said it's man down when Spence versus Crawford.
Me and my cousin, this is my cousin. Me and him, this is the one fight we disagree on, and that's Spence and Crawford because he always
Well,
picks Spence.
listen, but he's gonna have to explain how Spence is gonna win that fight. He's gonna have to explain how Spence is gonna win that fight. And I'm talking about technical breakdown. Tell me how Spence is gonna win that fight. Now, if listen, if Spence ain't had a car accident, if Spence didn't have the detached retina, if Spence didn't have the inactivity, I might have a different opinion. Possibly. But because those things are facts, and that's the reality, yeah. If Bud is rolling, that could be an 8-4 fight. And if he's rolling, if he cooking. Burkwood, Shane, who wins Shakur Stevenson versus Loma, and why?
A tough fight.
That's
a
a
hard
tough
fight to
fight.
call. It's a hard fight to call. Natural athleticism, Shakur has. Lomachenko does have the ability to make a fight a miss, and to pay. He also is got very good angles. It's a tough fight, man. Who's in the chat?
Got my guy, New Wave Boxing, also known as my man Che in the building. What's going on with you, player?
Got this shit. Good, fellas, man. I've been trying to get on with y'all for a while. My bad, man.
Hey, listen,
let me off work to do this live with y'all.
Yo, listen, let me run through the rest of these comments real quick, and then we're gonna let you cook. Richard Brown in the building. Big shout out to you. He said Crawford beats Spence, I reckon. Andre Southgate, I'm a Crawford fan. The thing is, with Spence coming back from the injury, who knows if he will be the same or if it's too soon to challenge Bud. To me, Crawford is the most talented and skilled. He said you won't get another Bud. He's one of a kind. Crawford the man. Richard Brown, Crawford pound for pound number one. Robert Acosta, Robert Acosta said, yo, I'm at the supermarket, then I'm going home. I hope after that I settle. Cool. Yeah, no problem, bro. No problem at all. Second Ezra Bud, 9-3 over Spence. Richard Brown, Shakur, future pound for pound.
Can I just address one comment? Personally, in my opinion, Usyk has to be pound for pound number one. He has to be pound for pound number one.
Are you saying he's pound for pound overall number one? I know you're not saying that, right? Oh, man,
Usyk is pound for pound number one.
I'm gonna let you cook on that.
Usyk is pound for pound number one. I believe that.
It's not even close for me. I'm not even gonna go there. It's not even close for me with that.
Who's pound for pound number one for you?
I give him top 5, probably, maybe. Like
who's pound for pound number one for you? Who's pound for pound number one for you?
It's Crawford and then Canelo. It's either one of those two for me.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Real simple question. Who on either one of those fighters' resumes is name me one fighter that Crawford has fought or Canelo has fought that he's beaten that he was an underdog in the fight.
Usually, when it comes up about Crawford, that's the first thing people run to is who he's fought. His body of work, man, is just you can't deny it anymore. He's already a unified champion at one division. He's about to clean up this next division. If
So
you,
is
I don't know if
Usyk.
you, I'm pretty sure you didn't see my video on the whole
Nah,
fight.
I didn't, bro.
And so the post fight, I already said he already is my pound for pound. He was my pound for pound best fighter before Canelo's last fight. But to me, Canelo takes a lot of these easy fights. I never
Yeah.
had I forgot who he fought. The guy
Caleb
he
Plant.
fought, Caleb Plant. I never gave Caleb Plant a chance because he has no power, and the fight went exactly how I said it was going to go. When it comes to Crawford now, if you go back on my page, literally 6 months ago when they signed this fight, I said this fight was going to be no contest. It's going to be over. He's going to knock Porter out. And before the fight, when I was watching the fight, I was trying to go live. I was having like the most trouble with my live or whatever. I literally said before the fight that he's going to knock him out in the 10th round, and it literally happened. It
Why
literally
the hell
happened.
did you not predict
I
that fight,
predicted the
bro?
punch.
Why do you
I
not
predicted the
predict
punch
it
and
on the
everything.
site, bro? You had a chance to win 500 done. You should have predicted
Yeah,
it on the site.
that's my fault. I gotta get on the
Let-
website, man. I be so damn busy, man. It just don't make no
All
sense. I
right, cool,
definitely need to get on the website because I will clean
Let me
up.
ask you a question.
Mhm.
Blaze. And I agree with the Canelo part. That's why Crawford's my number 2. What has Crawford done that Usyk hasn't done? That is my argument
All
to
right,
anyone
so
who says. 1 second. That's my argument to anyone who says Crawford is
and
above
I
Usyk.
agree with that. That's why he's in my top 5 because he was a unified champ. What was that? Undisputed. I keep
Undisputed
saying you fine.
at
Undisputed,
cruiserweight.
right? Right. He's done the same thing, but I believe I have to see some more from him. What was his last fight? That was
AJ.
your boy Joshua. I never was high on Joshua. Joshua is a robot. He fights. He got slow feet. He don't move his head off that line. In order for me to put him at the top of my pound for pound, he's going to have to unify the heavyweight division. He's going to have to beat
Okay,
Tyson. He's going to have to beat those type heavyweights.
So can I say why I feel like that's unfair? Because I've heard someone say this before. So let me be honest. It's cool for Canelo to be top 2, and he's only undisputed in the division where he didn't even fight the best champion, and he only undisputed one division. It's cool for Crawford to be undisputed, to be pound for pound number 1, and he's only been undisputed in one division. But Usyk
All right.
has to be undisputed in 2 divisions to be pound for pound number 1. How is that fair?
No. All right, so to me, Usyk hasn't had enough time at the heavyweight position. I mean, at the heavyweight division to put him at number 1 for me. Crawford has been at the welterweight division for what 3 years now.
Yeah.
He has more fights under his belt under the welterweight division than Usyk for me. Now Usyk is getting up
that's a
there
fact.
because I
That's
didn't
a
have no
fact.
faith in Usyk.
That's a fact.
It's a good point. Good point.
So that's just my point of view from it.
I can't disagree with that point of Crawford has been at welterweight and is way more acclimatized to welterweight than Usyk is at heavyweight. But we also can't disagree. We can't ignore the fact that modern day heavyweights are 60 pounds heavier than a cruiserweight.
Right.
Crawford only came up 7 pounds. Let's keep it real.
But I'm not taking away from Usyk. Like I said, he fought a robot. In his first fight, it was who was his first fight? Can't remember the guy's name. And then he fought Joshua. That's 2 fights at heavyweight, and 2 guys I was never high on. Now, the only person I'm really going to be high on right now in the heavyweight division is Tyson Fury. So maybe if he fought Deontay, maybe beat Deontay single hand. I mean, really good. And whoever else, I mean, he's still got a couple more fights for me.
So can I ask you a question? Is AJ not more accomplished than Shawn Porter?
Yeah, but AJ.
So then
how
is Shawn Porter a better win at 147 than AJ is at heavyweight? That is my argument.
I know. I wouldn't even say that it was a better win. It was a more decisive win, and just the way Crawford dominated him, like I said he was going to do, because to me, Porter stood no chance in that fight. And then when they got in the ring, did you see how big Crawford was compared to him? Crawford towered over him. He stood no
Okay,
chance.
so
He couldn't get
so
inside.
did
it was
AJ
just,
stand a chance against Usyk? When you watch that fight,
I
AJ
think
won
so.
4 rounds maximum.
I mean,
AJ won 4 rounds
and
maximum.
all right, so we can say no now. I mean, before the fight, we gave AJ. Everybody picked AJ.
And it was Usyk's skills that proved us all
Right.
wrong. But no one gives
Right.
this dude, not saying you, because you just said you gave Usyk credit. But no one, everybody overlooks this dude and what he's done.
Oh, you know
and
me. I'm a realist.
No, you're not one of those people. I'm just saying. And also, I see second Ezra. We're gonna get to the comments, but I want to immediately attack that second Ezra comment. He said, "Name you compare Usyk's last 3 opponents to Crawford's last 3 opponents." What we're gonna do is we're gonna compare Usyk's last 12. Crawford Usyk was undisputed in 12 fights. Nobody's ever done that in the sport of boxing. He's undisputed in 12 fights and unified in 2 different weight classes in less than 20 fights. Nobody in the history of boxing has ever done that. In less than 20 fights.
But you got, when you saying that though, when you say it like that, to me, that's where the part of the opportunities that are given to Usyk aren't the same opportunities that are given to Crawford. Because let's be real, Crawford's been calling out lots of people, and he can't get them in the ring. Now, when it comes to Usyk, for some reason, his second fight in the heavyweight division is a title fight. How long did it take?
Bud did get a title fight in his first fight.
Welterweight division. I'm talking about the division before that.
Oh, you talking about? It took him a while because he fought Ricky Burns for his first title.
It took him a while.
How many wins does Usyk have? Maybe like 20 wins?
20.
No, not even 20, bro. Not even 20.
19.
Right. He was pushed forward. Crawford worked his way forward. Nobody even knew who Crawford was.
I agree with that. I agree with that, bro. I agree with that. And I didn't even say that statement to take anything away from Crawford because everything you said I agree with. But I was just saying, you also can't take that away from Usyk. Just because he was given that opportunity, it's for him to prove that he can do it. And he proved that he can do it.
That doesn't diminish it, no. I'm just saying, you got to, when it comes to boxing, which I really hate, you got to take into account of a lot of stupid crap outside the ring. Not the stuff that's inside the ring, but outside the ring. The politics of boxing has a lot to do with where a lot of these people are in their career at this point, especially Crawford.
No, that's a fact.
But he made a lot of decisions himself. So
that's why I'm happy when he publicly went out and called out, what's it called? My man, Bob Arum. No, Bob Arum.
Right, so
when he was that.
That's what I wanted to get into. I was more entertained after the fight was over than the fight itself.
Yeah, facts. Facts.
To me, when Porter got knocked out in the 10th round and they put the camera on Earl Spence, his mannerism seemed like he was fucking salty because he knew if Crawford knocked him out and beat him better than he beat Porter, he wouldn't have nothing to say.
What is wrong with you, bro?
He couldn't say that damn thing. I think he actually told Porter, please don't get knocked out. It just seemed like he had some type of... This man never showed up to any of Crawford's fights. But you have this fight for some reason?
That's a good point.
Hey, Blaze, hold on. Yo. Blaze, I got to give a sidebar real quick, man. Big shout out to Alicia Baumgartner for dropping that pic on Twitter.
I can't see the comments, so...
I said Alicia Baumgartner put up a nice pic on Twitter. I had to share it with my man Shane. She got a nice little bubble. You know what I'm saying? But that's beside the point. But go ahead, Blaze. Go ahead, cook up, bro.
I was just saying. When it comes to Spence,
it was just after the fight, I enjoyed it more. I enjoyed what was going to happen because I already knew how the fight was going to go. And then I asked y'all this: where does Crawford go from here? And where does Porter go from here? Because I think Porter was nothing but a gatekeeper to the top welterweights in the first place. So what does he do from here? He's going back to commentary for me because I don't want to see.
Now, Porter already announced his retirement. But in terms of
Crawford, he did. I didn't even know that. Didn't know that.
Yeah, he announced his retirement. But in terms of Crawford, I'll answer that question point blank period. Because of general consensus and inactivity, I don't even think most people even consider Spence number one. Because let's keep
Not
it
anymore.
real. It's like considering Gary Russell as number one at 126. When you ain't in the ring for so long and you got a champion who's winning and winning in much more impressive fashion than you're winning, everybody's attention's on Crawford. And at this stanza, it's clear that only one person wants that fight. Everybody knows only one person wants that fight, and that's Crawford. Spence has never ever shown a willing attitude to fight Crawford. Never.
All right, so to me, right, I think Earl signed that fight with Pacquiao to undermine Crawford, knowing damn well he was never getting in the ring with Pacquiao. Now, I'm not going to say he maybe faked that injury or whatever it may be. I don't want to call that man a liar, but I feel like his career is based, they both need each other. And I think Crawford knows that. I don't think Earl wants to admit to that. And Earl, I just don't think beats Terrence Crawford. Earl does not have more skills than Terrence Crawford for me.
Yeah,
he does not.
I agree.
To me, I said this in my video. I believe Earl Crawford suffers from the same thing. Shawn Porter too suffered from the same thing that Deontay suffered from. Not having enough tools in the box. I mean, in your box. Yeah, y'all get what I'm saying. Not enough skill in the box. You know what I mean? To take out these skillful boxers. You know, you can't rely on your power. Deontay has proven that. You can't rely on your power, bro. You can't rely. I don't know how he's going to get on the inside and keep it there, because even if Earl gets on the inside, I believe Terrence Crawford is more skilled on the inside than anybody gives him credit for, because he was tossing Porter around like a goddamn rag doll when he tried to get on the inside. And Porter couldn't get on the inside because he threw no jabs. He kept trying to dive in. And I said his downfall was him leaning over his fucking toes every fucking time, and he got caught with that uppercut. And then he got caught with that check right hand that Crawford just kept looking for all night. You're going to keep jumping in, just doing that same crap over and over. You can't do that, man. You got to switch it up. And as soon as Crawford went southpaw in the first round, it was over.
Can I quickly go through these comments, bro?
Go ahead.
I'm definitely here for the comments.
What's it called? Shakura, we got through that. I got Crawford, mate. The second Ezra says
some names on his belt, but I'm there with you.
I got Usyk number 2, fair enough. Usyk number 3, I'd say Crawford and Canelo, then Usyk top 3, fair enough.
Those are my top 2, Canelo and Crawford.
Fair enough. I'll make my choice after Bud fought Spence, fair enough. Conrad Boxing and Canelo is going the circus route, got him behind Spence even. Bro, there's no way I have Canelo ahead of Crawford or Usyk, in my opinion, because this dude's fighting. He's cherry picking as my man. What's the my man?
I can't even. Who was his next?
He's picking cherries off the floor. Maccabi, Ilungo Maccabi.
Like, they need to make that Boo Andre and Canelo fight. I still got Canelo winning that fight, but I don't understand why he does not want to fight him. That's just
Benavidez versus Canelo. I would take that fight. But Turbiev versus Canelo. I'll take that fight. But these dudes,
how about this? I take Benavidez and Boo Andre, and the winner gets Canelo. How about that?
But Boo Andre didn't even 168. He's 160. I want to see Boo fight and Charlo. That's who I want to see him fight.
One of them, I'm over the Charlo brothers, man. I swear I've been over them for years. I think they the classic. Don't fight nobody, but put that shit on pay-per-view and make you pay for it. Hell no.
These guys are insane. Pound for pound definitely literally means if all were the same size, Canelo is the only person who's actually moving up weight classes and beating champions. Can I answer this? Please let me answer this. Please.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
Y'all got it.
Go.
I'm tired of
I've personally never seen Edwin Castillo before, so I got to give my drop. Big shout out to you. Thank you for jumping on the channel. Go subscribe to New Wave Boxing Media. Go subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed, and go to G5JeffTV.com. Join the Boxing Prediction Fantasy League. It's $500 for the winner of the league and the championship belt, and it is free to join. It is absolutely free to join. With that being said, I'm going to let Shane give you your ass. Go ahead.
So there is a common trend with Canelo. He moved up to 175. He fought the weakest champion. He moved up to 168. He waited until the strongest champions weren't champions anymore. Then he decided to become undisputed. At 160, he fought the best champion and lost. So this idea, he fought Golovkin in the first fight and lost the first fight, and they gifted him a fight. And then the second fight, I gave that fight to Canelo, so credit for that win. But you were one fight away from becoming undisputed at 160. You turned the fight down. You turned the Andrade fight down after being one fight from being undisputed. You moved up to 168. You did Zerdo Ramirez and Benavidez were champion. You thought, you know what? I don't fight Mexicans, so I'm gonna move up to 175 and fight the weakest champion at the time. And you fought Kovalev. You move back down. Oh, guess what? Zerdo Ramirez and Benavidez ain't champion anymore. Let me try and become undisputed. That's what you've done. Then you moved all the way up to cruiserweight. Who's the champion at cruiserweight? I'm gonna fight the weakest champion at cruiserweight. Bro, that's what he's done. Let's keep it real. At 175, the number one fighter is Kovalev. At cruiserweight, the number one fighter is Brady. At 168, the number one fighter is Benavidez. You did not fight none of them. So you can't say you're moving through the weight classes and beating champions if you're fighting the weakest champion. The number one fighter at 168 is Benavidez. Number one fighter at 175 is Beterbiev. Number one fighter at cruiserweight is Brady. You never fought none of them. So I don't give you credit for none of those divisions that you just won belts at, because you ain't fought the best in none of those divisions. But let's move.
All right, second Ezra. Compare Usyk and Crawford's last three opponents.
They already did this.
We already covered that.
Yeah, Burt Wood. It's hard to say pound for pound with all the different weight classes. P.S. I love the 122 and 118.
Oh, class. That's me and Jeff. 122. Me and Jeff.
What the pound for pound for though.
Yeah, that's what pound for. That's the meaning of pound for pound. If everybody was the same weight, who would you have? Edwin Castile. Let me take this one. Shane, get your feelings out. Canelo. Well, I can't take this one. He said your name. Hold on. Shane, get your feelings out. Canelo did fight the best at super middleweight, cleaned it out. David, there's nothing on my banana. Benavidez was undisciplined and never beat elite competition. Never beat.
So let me ask you a question. When he originally moved to 168 and fought Rocky Fielding, the number one general consensus champion was Zerdo Ramirez. Hold
on, Shane, real quick. Edwin came into the joint taking shots.
This cool.
By name. I come with facts.
I
just wanted to let you know that.
The longest reigning champion, and the general consensus number one fighter at the time was Zerdo Ramirez. You did not fight him at 168. You moved up to 175, and Zerdo Ramirez was your mandatory at 175 because he moved up WBO champion. And when you move up as a WBO champion, you automatically become mandatory. You did not fight him again. So really and truly, you didn't fight Zerdo nor Benavidez. You fought Callum Smith, who ran from the Zerdo fight. You fought Billy Joe Saunders, who ran from the Zerdo fight. So really and truly, you fought Yildirim, who Eubank knocked out clean, and you fought Plant. Really and truly, you fought dudes who were failed. They were failed fighters. They were all failed fighters. That's who you fought. Other than Plant, the rest of the dudes you fought were failed fighters. And I know Smith more than you know Smith, and I know Saunders more than you know Saunders. I've watched both of them fighters fight more than you. So trust me, they're failed fighters. Next comment, Jeff.
Tell me, when was the last Canelo fight that he wasn't an overwhelming favorite?
Golovkin.
That was almost, like 4 to 5 years ago?
Exactly. Yeah. But he wouldn't be an overwhelming favorite against Beterbiev, but guess what? He didn't take that fight, did he?
Nah.
So...
Comrade boxing all depends on your criteria in the end. But that's the beauty of the pound for pound conversation. You come up with your own criteria. You know what I'm saying? To come down to it, you just have to explain.
That's all pound for pound is
that's
your
all
opinion.
pound for pound is your opinion based off of your criteria.
Right.
Edwin said he got stripped twice. Hold on, Shane.
He did get stripped twice.
Yeah.
No, I can't disagree with that. He got stripped twice.
Second, Ezra Usyk beat Chaz Witherspoon his first fight at heavyweight. Yeah, so it was Chaz Witherspoon, Derek Chisora, and then Anthony Joshua.
Chaz Witherspoon is a big fat bum. Come on, man.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. I'm not disagreeing with that.
Yeah, Conrad boxing Usyk was mandatory. Usyk had to go to everyone's hometown to get their belt. That's a fact as well.
That's a fact.
Richard Brown, what's people's opinions on Rashidi Ellis? I rate him. Hope he gets a big fight soon. Can I get at that? Let me get at that real quick.
Yeah, go on.
All right. So Richard Brown, Rashidi Ellis he has some of the fastest hands in the game. I would say top 5. Anybody that hasn't seen Rashidi Ellis fight, his hand speed is ridiculous. Like, he has ridiculous hand speed. But the one thing about Rashidi Ellis is couple of things. In his last fight, he had a step-up fight, and you could tell it was a step-up fight. Like, he fought, he didn't fight free. You understand what I'm saying? Like, he didn't fight.
He fought like he had you know when a dog has a leash on?
Yeah, he didn't really turn up. You understand what I'm saying? So I rate Rashidi Ellis, but Rashidi Ellis, I think he becomes a free agent sometime next year, early next year, if I'm not mistaken. If that's the case, he needs to go where all the action is, and he needs to gradually move up. He's behind Virgil Ortiz and guys like that. He needs step up fights. He needs mean machines and guys like that, Chris Algieri's and guys like that, because we need to know if he's for real or not.
Fact.
So I rate him, but he's top 15, but he's top 15 strictly off of talent. Like, he's not top 15 in terms of what he's actually showed me in the ring. So Richard Brown, he needs another year for me before I can.
All right,
throw
do you
him
feel
in that
the
top
same
10.
way about Boots Ennis?
No, I don't.
Hell no.
No, hell no. Like, as far as Boots is concerned, in terms of pure talent, he is the most talented. He's the most talented physical fighter I've seen with my own 2 eyes since Roy. That's how talented he is physically. He's probably the only dude that I give a pass to in terms of what he's actually done in the ring and competition.
Right.
Compared to everybody else. I usually
watching Boots, I can trust my eyes.
Yeah,
I agree
with that. But at this point, I think it's time for him to get in the ring with somebody with a name. It's just at that point now. I'm tired of seeing him beat up on tomato cans. So I'm ready for that, so I can make my decision on him.
But saying that Lipinets wasn't supposed to be a tomato can.
What would y'all think? I would think, say, what would y'all think about a Terrence Crawford and Boots fight? Because I would pay.
We'll have to get to that later. I'm
gonna get to that, and I don't want to start a fire in here because Boots and his strength and conditioning coach. Boots and his strength and conditioning coach is actually in the building. I'm gonna reserve my opinion on that for a little bit, but I will get to it. Dwayne Sewell said Usyk pound for pound #1. He beat all the best at cruiserweight and then beat one of the top 3 heavyweights at all his opponents' backyards.
That's my argument.
Dwayne Sewell, let me actually comment on that. You're not wrong for thinking that. And if that's the reason why you have him pound for pound #1, I can't dispute that at all. As far as I'm concerned, and I talked to Shane about this off camera, Usyk's style is so potent. I've never seen Usyk have to adjust. I've never seen Usyk he's just that good. I've never seen Usyk be like, you know what? I can't do what I'm usually doing. I'm going to have to put the high guard up and walk this guy down. Or I'm going to have to go around the ring and I'm going to have to pot shot. Or I'm going to have to do this. Or I'm going to have to do that. That, for me, I'm like, Bud has shown me too many times where he's had to adjust in a fight.
Is that because his plan A is just not as good as Usyk's plan A?
No, what I will say is that Bud's opponents, Bud's
No,
opponents. No, hold
no.
on,
No, you're
hold
not gonna
on.
say it.
Listen.
Go on,
Bud's
go on.
Bud's Bud's opponents, right? Bud has had more opponents. Now I'm not talking. Now I'm talking in terms of Usyk style. Like Usyk got a cheat code as far as his style is concerned, and it works because he's in there with guys that's nowhere near him physically. Like even at cruiserweight, nobody was near him physically, and I'm talking in terms of athleticism, things like that.
But
Like
AJ was
Usyk,
athletic.
but he's not more athletic than Usyk.
AJ is a robot,
He's
man.
stiff.
He
He's
can't
a stiff,
move.
bro. He's a stiff.
He can't
He's a
move.
stiff. Usyk's able to get
okay.
away. Usyk's able to get away with what he's able to get away with because of where he fights at. He has welterweight skills. Hold on, Blaze. He got welterweight skills. He got you, Shane. You know this. He got welterweight skills fighting at cruiserweight and heavyweight. So there's a lot of things that he's doing that they just can't match. They can't match. The thing with Bud, and this is why me personally, I have Bud number one. Me personally, for this one reason. If I had to pick one guy to go into the ring against anybody, and no weight involved, I'm picking Bud. Bud.
The reason why I'm not picking Bud and the reason why I'm picking Usyk, because I love Bud. I love Bud so much. The reason I'm picking Usyk is because watching Usyk, there is nothing Usyk can't do. You can go for it right now.
I haven't seen.
No.
See.
Go on.
I was going to say I have not seen him get roughed up. I've never seen someone try to walk.
Derek Chisora roughed him up. And Derek Chisora roughed up.
Eric Chisora can't do that for 12 rounds. He can do it for maybe 4.
Bro, okay. Even if you say that argument, you can say he hasn't been roughed up.
That's not my argument. Why he's not number one, though.
No. But I know what you're saying. But even if you're gonna use that, the reason why people can't rough him up for prolonged periods of time is because of how good he is. That his lateral movement is so good, it will be impossible for any fighter in the world to maintain it for 12 rounds. Name me one fighter, past or present, that could maintain lateral movement for 12 rounds. No one.
Tyson Fury.
But I'm glad you brought up Tyson Fury. Are you telling me Tyson Fury's front foot game is good enough? Now he can beat him in terms of mauling, but in terms of his actual footwork, there's no way you're telling me his footwork's better than
No, I'm not saying no. But this is what I'm saying. In terms of movement and like you said, lateral movement, I don't think his foot movement is better than Usyk's. But I believe if they both got in the ring, and we both know styles make fights, that Tyson Fury is going to be all over him. He's just going to come forward and just try to pound him like he did Deontay Wilder. And if not, I believe Tyson Fury is a good enough boxer to go to plan B, C, and D. And I don't know that about Usyk yet. All I seen was his plan A, and he stuck to it and makes his plan work. But let me see
that's Jeff's argument, and I can't disagree with that because that is an argument that Jeff made, and that is I can't argue that because really and truly, Usyk's plan A has never failed him, so we've never seen if he's got a plan B. But the truth is, when he actually fought everybody that's like literally, when he's the definition of cleaning out a division. If you guys don't know his cruiserweight run, he beat everyone in cruiserweight. Then he moved up to heavyweight and he fought the unified champion, which was AJ. He couldn't fight Wilder or Fury because they were already tied up. The only other champion he could fight was AJ, and he beat him so comfortably. My point is, I don't know what more people want from Usyk. I literally don't know what they want from him.
I just need to see more. If I see that, and he keeps going the way he's going within a year's time, maybe two more fights, he'll be my number one. Depending on what Crawford does with his career and depending on what Canelo does with his career. I mean, like, your pound for pound can change on the daily, from fight to fight. So Right now, like I said, he's in my top 5, but he has
Where's
some more
he in
still has to
yours?
prove.
Where's he in your rankings, yeah?
All right, so let me see. I'm going with Terrence Crawford, Canelo, Tyson Fury. I mean, he's probably my fourth.
Where's yours? What's yours, yeah?
Crawford 1, Usyk 2, Canelo 3, and then I got to think about the rest.
I would say Crawford 1, Usyk 1, Canelo 2, Usyk 1, Crawford 2, Canelo 3, Josh Taylor 4, and my number 5 probably a New Way or something like that.
Yeah,
I still
I
got
got
to
to
see more
think
Josh
about.
Taylor too. I mean, he's getting up there for me too, but I still got to see more.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
no, that's fair, man. That's fair. Go ahead, Shane.
Edwin Castillo said Richard Brown, he's good and talented. He's fighting in December, I believe. Oh, fair enough. Crawford number 2 pound for pound. The reason number 2 pound for pound for me. Edwin Castillo, okay, thanks. I didn't know that. Who's he fighting? Fair enough. DT the room. Shout out to you, bro. Shout out to you, bro. Shout
DT3
out
the
to you.
Boom, man. That's
DT3
my
the
guy
room,
right
man.
there, man. That's my guy right there. DT3 the Boom, man. In the building. What's going on, bro? Dwayne Sewell, sorry, but Spence and Wilder are miles apart in boxing skills.
No.
Yeah, we know that. Everybody
Yeah,
know that.
yeah, everybody know that. Yeah. Richard Brown, my bad, his brother is fighting. Edwin Castillo, okay, no worries. Canelo is the only one who has to fight, but everyone else get to sit on their hands and wait. Let me address that.
Everybody has to fight.
Let me address that.
Before you
So
do, let me say this. Let me before you cook on that. I will say this though. To that comment, Canelo is the cash cow, so they got to keep him in the ring.
This guy trying to steal my. He tried.
Oh, that's what you were going to say.
But I got to back up to the back.
Oh,
I'm used to Shane doing that, so I have backups to the backups. Listen. I'm gonna add on to what Blaze said. So here's the thing with Canelo. When you are the cash cow, there's not a fight that you can't get. You understand what I'm saying? So he's the only person in the sport that can strategize his every move. It's kind of like with Floyd. Floyd can strategize his every single move. So when he does not fight the Benavidez, when he doesn't fight the Viturbias, when he doesn't fight the Bivels, when he doesn't fight, Charlo back in the day, Zertles, Andre, you have to take that into account. Like, he is literally strategizing his way through these divisions. Now, mind you, Edwin, let me say this, because when we say that, people think we're not Canelo fans. Nah, we fuck with Canelo. You have to be good in order to strategize. You have to be good to do what he's doing. You got to be real good to do what he's doing, because he's mopping dudes that would give other guys crazy competition.
But the reason why I'm so skeptical on him is because he's purposely choosing certain fights.
Right.
I think he could beat Andre. I think he can beat Charlo, but he just didn't fight them.
Right. But that's why I don't agree with that comment, because you said Canelo has to fight and everyone else is sitting on their hands and waiting. Canelo is the cash cow. He got to fight, period. He got to fight, period.
He's
at the end of the day,
by everybody.
He's being chased by everybody. So people not sitting on his hands. So Edwin, let me ask you this. If somebody tells you, yo, bro, you can fight 2 or 3 guys, they tomato cans, but we guarantee you after these 3 tomato cans, Canelo gonna be there. It's gonna be the biggest fight of your career. Or if somebody tells you, all right, listen, we got 3 guys, they gonna be real tough fights, but you're gonna get Canelo at the end of the 3 fights. Like, which one are you gonna take? You're gonna take the 3 tomato cans because you're trying to get to the to the bag. You're trying to get to the bag. So that's why I don't agree with that comment.
Another thing is, nobody cares because they're gonna buy. People are gonna buy. His fans are gonna buy that fight. They don't care
regardless.
As long as they can sell those goddamn tickets, which they're gonna do most of the time. It just got to be a good enough name that whereas though it may be a small smidgen of a threat against him. He knows there's no threat. We all, as boxing commentators and things like that, we all know who will give Canelo competition. and it's taking like 6 years to get these fights done. He's not going to fight these guys until they start falling off that cliff. That's when you're going to
And I
start.
said that the other day. Edwin Castillo, because since he left 160, Andrade has become undisputed. Oh wait, he's not even unified. Well, guess what? Did Andrade not send a contract to Charlo to sign? Guess what? Charlo turned it down. Did Andrade not send a contract to Golovkin to sign?
Right.
Oh, guess what? Golovkin turned the fight down. Andrade doesn't have the pulling power of Canelo. If he doesn't have that ability to call out any fight he wants and gets the fight. He was signed to fight Saunders, and the fight got cancelled because of Saunders. What do you want him to do? I don't understand what people want from Andrade.
Andrade
This dude
went to he literally disrespected Canelo to get him in the ring, and he still wouldn't get it.
He still didn't take the fight. He still didn't take. Bro, imagine
this doesn't happen.
Bro,
this didn't happen once. This has happened multiple times. He literally disrespected him in his face.
Jeff, this is what Canelo done when it comes to Andre. Canelo was one fight away from becoming undisputed. He said, you know what? Forget that. I'm going to move up to another weight class where I don't have any belts and beat everybody else to become undisputed. You know what that's like? That's like having a female in your room, absolutely naked, and saying, you know what? I'm going to leave this room and go and try find a girl that I've never met and try to get her in the same position. Why would you do that? You have it right there. Why would you try and accomplish the same thing is right there? That's literally what he done.
Hey, Shane, I wasn't expecting for you to go to that analogy, but I absolutely love that analogy.
Bro, that's what he done.
That's essentially what he did, to be completely honest. Second, Ezra Canelo, the weak champion killer Alvarez. That's funny. That is funny. Second, I'm sorry, Edwin Castillo is moving up, not dangerous. Our champions get their spot.
Can I answer that?
Let me read it first, Shane. Let me read the shit. It's moving up, not dangerous. Our champions get their spot. Just because you don't know who cruiserweight champions is doesn't mean he's not good. His boxing, not who you know.
Oh my gosh. Okay, firstly, you chose the wrong person to say that to. Firstly, I've paid to see Ilunga Makabu fight before. So you could never ever tell me I don't know who he is. I can name you his last 5 fights, because guess what? I watched them live. I watched when he fought Alexei Pakin live on the Kovalev yard undercard. I watched when he fought Saislak and knocked him out in the 5th round. I watched when he fought Kudryashov. I watched when he fought what's the dude that Ryabko just knocked out? I watched when he fought him to win the title. I watched when he fought Tony Bellew. So bro, you could never ever say that to me, bro.
Hey,
I am a cruiserweight connoisseur. I am a cruiserweight connoisseur. Trust me, I'm a cruiserweight connoisseur. I know about the cruiserweight division. But moving up is fine. But you said, you should have never said this. This is how I know you don't know that much about what you're talking about. You said, you champions not get their spot. I'll explain how Ilunga Makabu got his spot. He won a vacant belt against a champion who contractually couldn't fight because he was already signed to another fight. Bradis has already signed to fight Dorticos, and he couldn't defend his own belt. So guess what? He had to give it up. So what are you talking about? Bradis was the champion, and he couldn't fight.
Shane, back to your corner, Shane. Back to your corner.
I'm about to say he's smelling cooking.
Hey, man, hold on. Hey, Edwin Castillo. I will put Shane up against absolutely anybody in a darn debate. If you ever want to get on live and actually debate Shane, we actually don't have a problem with that.
Anytime, bro.
Long as we keep it respectful.
The worst division you should pick is cruiserweight. That's the last division you should pick.
So it seemed like you're enjoying going back and forth with Shane here. If you want to set that up, we can definitely set that. It won't be tonight. I'll tell you that much. It won't be tonight. But we can definitely set that up. That's not a problem. But I think Shane might be winning the debate tonight. Conrad said Chris G got a friend in here. Yeah, he is definitely acting like Chris G. Jordan Ciampini, what's going on, bro? He said, I think Callum should be exempt from Shane's wrath. Why?
Why?
Yeah, why? Jordan, why?
We don't do that around here.
Yeah, we don't do that around here. Edwin said Yildirim was mandatory, undeserved, but prepared for David. he's tiers above and offered Beterbiev the fight before Kovalev. Shane, I'm going to let you go again. Go ahead.
He offered the fight to Beterbiev. So you're saying he offered the fight to someone who already had the fight announced?
Lined
Jeff, was you not at the Vodzik? Was you not at the Vodzik Beterbiev fight?
Yeah.
When I last remembered, Vodzik and Beterbiev was in, I think it was October, right?
Yep.
Kovalev was also in November. So how can you offer someone a fight when he already had a fight lined up? What are you talking about? That doesn't even make any sense.
Hey, Edwin, you got to come a little stronger than that, bro. Like Richard Brown.
All right.
Go, Rashid.
What are you gonna say, Blaze? What are you gonna say, Blaze?
Go ahead, Blaze. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying if this is saying y'all the mirror that got knocked out by what is his name?
Eubank.
He got Eubank.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to see that.
Trash. Richard Brown, Rashidi is really fast. He's got some of the fastest hands in the game.
Real fast.
He said, "Yes, I agree, mate." Edwin said, "Facts over feelings." Hold on. Listen, let me get this out.
Please,
I'm gonna read it. No, I'm gonna read it, and because I know you're gonna go off again. Let me read it. Facts over feelings. Billy Joe Saunders and Smith were undefeated champions, and no one beat them, not even David. There's nothing on my nose. Benavidez has been in super middleweight way longer than Canelo. Do you want to address that, Shane?
No, I can address it. Well, I don't know if you know this, but Saunders failed the drugs test to fight Andrade. He moved up to 168. He waited until Zerdo vacated the belt because he could have been mandatory, but he waited. And then he fought a dude called Shefat Asufi. Now, I've never seen that dude fight before. I know Blaze and G5 Jeff TV's never seen that dude fight before. How do you win a belt against Shefat Asufi? Come on, let's keep it real. Then, in terms of Callum Smith, he fought John Ryder, and everybody here who watched the fight will clearly tell you that John Ryder beat Callum Smith. He beat Callum Smith. So before you say nobody beat him, John Ryder beat him. So what are you talking about? He just got that fight because the Canelo fight was already lined up. Too much money on the table, so he could have.
Hey, Edwin, Shane is in here giving out that smoke, bro. You're gonna have to line up this one-on-one feed, man. You're gonna have to line up this one-on-one feed, man. And you see, I'm not even getting involved, bro. I'm not even getting involved. When Shane get loose, I just let him go. And you kind of lucky Blunt not in here neither, because he probably would have went off too. He probably went off too. Blair Cobbs. I like Blair Cobbs, man.
I like him as well.
He got to work on his defense.
He got to work on his defense. I like Blair Cobbs. Him calling out Boots though. He going out.
I don't think he's ready for that.
Yeah, he's not ready for that. He's not ready for that. Edwin Castillo, Andre did the same to Canelo, calling him boring, a runner, fighting nobodies, and that nobody wants to see him fight. Skip that, Shane.
I don't think anybody can call Canelo a runner.
I was about to say
that. He's not a runner. Like, he walks forward. Burt Bush, Shane Canelo is our ambassador of Quan.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means neither. Can you give us some more insight on that, Burt Wood? Andre Southgate, Usyk will be tested against Fury. The thing with Usyk is I've never seen him troubled. How does Usyk respond to a heavyweight knockdown?
That's all I'm waiting to see is what happens when he.
I can't answer that.
I just want to know if Usyk. I just want to know if Usyk has a plan B. That's right. That's. Go ahead, Shane.
I can't. That's a fact. I can't answer that. We've never seen it, so I can't answer that.
Never seen it. Second, Ezra, heavyweight doesn't have the multitude of boxing skills like welterweights have. True. Edwin Castillo. Yeah. Edwin Castillo. Most people can't see Crawford. Yeah. He got welterweight talent, like for real. Yeah. Edwin Castillo. Most people can't see Crawford go past 147. I think he can fight at 154. I think he can fight at 154.
Look at that fight though.
Listen.
Compared to
him and I said this before. Him and Charlo was a 50-50 fight.
That's what Jeff said.
Right
Jeff
now.
said that.
Right now. No tune up. And you know I'm a big advocate for when guys go up a weight class, take a fight, get acclimated to the weight. I'm talking about Bud
that's
Crawford.
A great question. Yeah. So what do y'all think is next for Bud Crawford?
Me
I think
personally,
go.
to be
I think
honest
he,
with
I
you,
think
moving
he,
up at the end of the fight.
to be
I think
honest
he.
with you, can I go first, Shane?
Go on, Jeff.
Let
Go
me
on.
cook first on that.
I don't even need to cook.
As far as Bud is concerned, when I say he needs to put maximum pressure on Spence, and I mean Bud's next fight should be Spence. Every single excuse that we've heard over the past 3-4 years, Bud is on the wrong side of the street. Bud is this, Bud is that. Bud don't have a belt. Bud has a belt. Bud got bodies on his resume, and Bud is a free agent. Bud next fight should be Spence. Call that man out every single goddamn day.
Bro, and if
Bud next
Spence has
fight
a
should be
fight, make
Spence.
sure you're ringside.
Make sure you're ringside.
If Spence has a fight, make sure.
4 years now.
But the thing is, his circumstances, it's no excuse. His circumstances is exactly what Spence wanted. He's a free agent, he's a champion, and he got bodies on his resume.
Facts.
Spence can't go nowhere now.
That's why he left out that ring. I mean, that's why he left that fight Saudi, because he knew he had no more excuses.
Yeah, there's no more excuses. There's no more excuses. Because I'm like, as far as to answer your question, Bud Spence next. Like that should be the fight next.
Honestly, that's the biggest fight in boxing for the past 3 years.
That can be made.
That's been the biggest fight. It's been the biggest fight, bro.
Yeah,
that's been the biggest fight.
Like 3 years now. And
summer 2022, that fight should be going down. Summer 2022. Spence has no more excuses.
To me,
and all the Spence fans, hold on, real quick.
I just want to repeat
all the Spence fans, there's no excuses now. All that A side, B side, all that other nonsense. Spence got to step up to the plate. He got to step up to the plate now. Period. There's no excuses. Go ahead, Blaze.
I was going to say, at this, I was just going to agree with you, but at this point, I'm gonna just repeat what Terrence said after the fight. Earl need to take the tail out of his legs and get in the fucking ring.
Yeah, facts. Facts. It's because the thing is, I don't want it to be a situation where Spence takes a fight that he shouldn't supposed to take and slips up. I don't want Bud to take a fight that was going to be and slips up.
Fight, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's my thing.
Still to this day, I just think he did that to undermine Crawford. That's the only reason. Because when they talk about Crawford facing Pacquiao, and then the very next day, he signed to fight Earl Spence. Come on, man.
You know what? And the thing is, bro, at the end of the day, I know people are talking about Ugas because he got a belt and all that. To be honest with you, forget that damn belt. To be honest with you, forget that damn belt.
No,
I'm like, at the end of the day, these are the top two guys in the division.
At welterweight, Ugas is the weakest.
It's only three of them. It's them three, and that's it.
That's what I said.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, Ugas doesn't matter. Ugas doesn't matter.
But somebody might fight him at some point.
If Bud fights anybody,
mutual fight, you guys.
Yeah, if Bud fights anyone other than Spence, it would have to be Ugas. That's the only other fight I would accept. Nothing else makes sense. Boots fighting for Bud don't make sense right now.
I accept it. That would just be the leftovers that you got to deal with. I mean, when you ain't got nothing else to eat in the house, fuck it.
So Bud, enjoy it. Yeah, Bud, Spence, and if he has to fight somebody else, it's Ugas. Those are the only two fights that make sense. Those are the only two fights that make sense.
Let's run it.
All right, I'm gonna run through it. Jay Banks in the building. What's going on with you? Andre Southgate, Bud, #1 pound for pound. Jordan says, I think Usyk performing the way he does at heavyweight definitely constitutes a #1. God bless AJ for giving everyone a shot so we can decide that weight. Andre, Blaze, I agree. Fury.
Yeah, no, I was about to say that. That's a bit.
No, AJ's fought a lot of bodies. I don't know if that's what he was saying.
Everybody that came after him, we know that for a fact.
Who hasn't he fought?
Fury.
Why would he hold on? Why would he fight Fury at that particular time? Like, why?
The fight
he had no belt. Hold on, we punished. Hey, Blaze, we punished. We said Wilder should have never gave Fury a shot to begin with because Fury ain't bring nothing to the table. It's the same thing for AJ. So I can't give you Fury.
All right, so let me cook on that. Now, when Deontay gave him his shot, we all know at that point in time he got tired of trying to get Joshua in the ring. And
you can't say that.
On the table.
You can't say that. He had 100 million.
He had 100 million.
And he was right for turning it down.
He was right for turning it down.
He was right for turning it down.
On the table, though. He had 100 plus on the table.
He made, like you said, he made the mistake of the fight between him and Tyson Fury was all risk, no reward for him.
Facts.
At all.
Facts.
And he should have never took that fight. But he, like I said, I'm telling you, he got tired of chasing Joshua, so he had to put somebody on his resume, because he got if he would have knocked out anybody else, they'd just say the tomato can.
Hey, Blaze, and the way you just said it is exactly what Deontay and them was thinking. But the thing that they forgot about is, like you said, styles make fights. Fury is the absolute worst style for Fury for Wilder. And on top of that, right? And on top of that, and Andre Ward said this. Now, he was in the minority, and I agree with Andre Ward. I think if I was Wilder, I would have took the draw and I would have walked.
Literally,
right.
I'd have took the draw and I would have walked, and I'm gonna tell you why.
And you know why he would have got away with it as well? Because when the fight was ordered by the WBC originally, Fury turned the fight down. At that stage, you don't have nothing to prove.
But let me cap that off. The way that fight ended, people think Fury didn't get up at the count of 10 anyway. A lot of people think he should have got a 12th round knockout. He should have took that draw and walked.
I don't think about that type of stuff. When that part of the fight comes up, when he's talking about he got the longer 10 count, man, it is what it is. Because when you're in that boxing ring and you're a ref, you got to pay attention. When somebody goes down, you got to make sure that man gets to the corner. Then you got to take a look at the guy that's counting outside the ring, and then continue to count. And then it was like a
Jeff, you're gonna have to run through these comments, bro.
I got you. Listen, hey, Blaze, let me tell you this real quick. No other referee in the world would have even started to count. He was laying dead for 5 seconds. For that reason alone, Wilder could have took that draw and he could have walked, bro. He could have walked.
All right, so I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna let you get to these comments. The thing about it is, we talking about Jack Reese. If you take a look at Jack Reese gives you all the opportunity in the world. If you look at any of his fights, he gives you all the opportunity in the world to get up and get your ass knocked out again.
Blaze, you want to know this funny? You know the thing that's funny before I cook on these comments? Jack Reese is the same dude that stopped the fight with 2 seconds left. Weeks before the Fury fight. That was who did the guy that Tony Harrison fought in his last fight?
What's the dude that got a draw? He got a draw.
Yeah, he got a draw. He got robbed. Damn, what's his name? He fought the dude. Who he fought? He fought somebody on
he
BBC.
Got up. He stopped the fight after he got up.
He stopped the fight after he got up, and it was literally
I think the dude also fought Clark as well, didn't he? Jamonte Clark. He fought Clark as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he fought Jamonte Clark. Yeah, and that's the thing. So Jack Reese was coming off of that fight where he got criticized for stopping the fight. I think it was less than 10 seconds left in the fight. And he got criticized for that. So when he went into the Wilder fight, he was just like, "Yo, I'm gonna give y'all guys every possible opportunity." So he called him at the right time.
He told both fighters, "I will give you a chance. If you have to prove to me that if you get knocked down, I will give you a chance to get up." So
that was a hell of a Blaze. That was a hell of a chance because he wasn't moving. He wasn't moving, bro.
I agree.
Speed through.
But he did get up. So how knocked out was
because what's it called? Rob's in the chat.
All right, hold on. You said Blaze, I agree. Fury can adjust in a heartbeat. I've never seen Usyk under deep water. Conrad, Usyk's adjustments are small but very effective. Watch some of the video studies on YouTube of Usyk's fights. It is crazy what he does when you watch it.
No, but when we're talking about adjustments, we're talking about like having to change his style because the fight is
and I don't like watching fights in slow-mo. It's like watching replays in slow-mo. I don't like that. Bud and Usyk above everyone else. For me by far, Boots
Fact.
is the future.
I 100% agree with that.
Yeah, Usyk is very skilled, no doubt. Cruz said, "Do anyone have Earl in the top 10? If so, you have to
He's in
have
my top
Thurman
10.
because he beat Spence. Has that a 0? D Hodges, DT3. I knew Usyk was gonna be AJ. Won money on that. That's what's up. Will Stokes in the building. What's going on? He said, I bet Andre will do way better against all these top dogs than people
Oh, y'all
expect.
know?
He beats
Did
a
y'all
lot of
That's a
these
know
fact.
guys.
Keith Thurman called out Terrence Crawford?
Man,
I
Keith
seen a
Thurman,
video
ice
about that
cold.
earlier.
Yeah, Keith
Man,
Thurman, ice
yeah,
cold in
like
these
boy,
streets.
sit down. Like
He
nobody
ice
cares
cold in
about
these
you,
streets.
man.
Yeah.
Bro, you need to get
Edwin.
a wig.
Yeah.
Right, he ain't won in maybe 3 years now.
Hey yo. Yo, Shane, come on, man. You gotta warn me when you say some shit like that. Edwin said, you see, your scenario says that taking one rule that's easier, but you hate on Canelo for what you claim he's done. Shane, we gotta get through the comments.
No,
Don't
I'm not gonna
respond to
answer
that.
that. I'm not even gonna
Yeah.
answer that because
All
I
you're
right.
not
don't
even
hate on
coming back with
Canelo.
facts.
I give
You're
Hold
not even
Canelo
on.
all
coming
the
back with
respect in the
facts
world,
right
but
now. You're
Yeah,
just coming
he
back with
has done
opinions.
some.
yeah,
Like I said, I
Conrad.
give Canelo all the respect in the world, but some of the shit he's done has been suspect. That ain't no hate. That's just fact.
Yeah. Conrad, Shane with the girl analogies tonight spends too much time on Baumgartner's Twitter. That is funny.
Bro,
That was
forget
me. That
Von.
was me on her Twitter. That's
Bro,
a
you need
fact.
bro, I need to catch this girl in real life. And I'm so annoyed because you know in Garvey,
He
he was at the fight. I was like, bro, you could
yo
have got
he
me into the fight,
yo
bro.
he annoyed. I met her in person. She bad, super bad. Edwin Castillo, Andre could be immediately mandatory vacant and move up. B, he
Oh,
doesn't want
Jesus
it
Christ.
because he wouldn't have his security belt to fall to. Yeah, I
Oh
watch
my
Cruiserweight, but
gosh.
he's dangerous and hits harder. Edwin, I'm gonna say this very, very brief. Edwin, we need for you to be on this live every single day because obviously some of the comments that you've made, once you listen to us for like a good week or two, your opinions on how you see things is going to be a little bit different. So
A
just
little bit
stick
less
with us. Yeah,
one-sided. A little
stick
bit
with
less
us.
Canelo. Like,
Stick with us and keep an open
Ain't no
mind. I
Canelo haters
guarantee you
around here. He get
there's no
more props
Canelo
than
haters.
anything around
We
here.
we simply facts. But stick around with us for sure. Jordan said the way Shane says connoisseur sounds like dinosaur. That's funny. That's funny. That is funny. I like that. Edwin, you claim David is a threat, but he won his title in vacant title fights. All right. So this is obviously a Canelo
lover.
thing. Yeah. But Edwin, we
I
can
mean,
set
there's
up that
nothing wrong with
debate though.
that
We can
though.
set it up. Yeah, it's nothing wrong with that. Like
There's
you can
nothing
set
wrong.
that up if you
Nothing
want, but
wrong
as
with
long as
that.
you following it up with facts, you gotta
Literally,
follow it up
bro.
with facts
Yeah.
though. Edwin said because Kovalev negotiations way before fell through, then came back after. Not hard to understand, but being biased blinds my friend.
Bro, he can't have a conversation or negotiation when Kovalev already had a fight signed up with a mandatory, which was Anthony Yarde.
Anthony Yarde, yeah. Shane
And
cooking.
you can't say before that because Kovalev didn't have the belt. Because if you guys remember, he lost to Elite Alvarez. So when was these imaginary negotiations, bro?
Yeah, for sure. Edwin Castillo, so all champs have free belts. And
Boy,
again, your
he
feelings
got the
say
whole
Ryder
chat locked
won,
down.
but the books say otherwise. Said, my bad, Andre said those things to Laura. Robert Casa said, I'm in. I got you. He said, I'm back. Burt Wood, agent, Tom Cruise character, Jerry Maguire, what Quan is, Rod Tidwell. It means love, respect, community, and the dollars too. Got you. That was that
Got
comment
you.
from earlier. Second
Earlier.
Ezra, Spence getting the tune up. His next fight. What's the tune up though?
Spence says he don't want no tune-up fight. He
That's
don't
what
do
he
tune-up
said.
fight.
He don't want no tune up. Jordan is going from a B side to who was the best. That's good to see. That's a good point because I ain't hear nobody
Yeah.
say A side, B side. That's a great. That might be the comment of the night. I actually like that comment. Will Stokes, Crawford, Ugas would actually be nice if Crawford wants to make more of a case for a nice split in the Spence fight. He needs two straps too. Will, hold on. I got this one. Will, you always good to make a comment that's just going to like set it off, right? So that AB side is out the window because he's not with Top Rank no more. He not with Top Rank, so I'm like, technically, if he fights Spence, it could be an all in-house fight. And the way Al
And
gets down, hold on, Shane. At the way Al gets down, if you pay attention, Will, and this is why Will, you stick around as well. When Spence fought Porter,
I was about to say the same thing.
They had the same base pay. When he fought Danny Garcia, they had the same base pay. The difference is how much do they get on the back end? So that whole A side, B side is out the window.
And if you don't believe that, AB always talks about the back end, and he shouldn't talk about it. But this guy doesn't have any common sense. But he's always talking about back end when it comes to Al Haymon.
AB stands for all back end. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Edwin said Brian Castillo could be a good fight for Crawford.
Yeah, I think Castillo will be an easier touch though, because one thing I saw in that Charlo fight is whenever Charlo decided, which was rare, but whenever he decided to use lateral movement, he really made it difficult for Castano.
Yeah, for sure. Will Stokes, it was obvious Wilder picked Fury because he was trying to cherry pick a great name when he was at his worst. So I don't give him credit for that one.
No, but you can't say that because he fought him in a rematch that he did, and he didn't need to fight him in a rematch. And
he didn't need to fight him in a rematch. Listen, the initial fight, okay. The initial fight, okay. Like I seen the vision. Once the draw happened, I was just like, yo, he can just walk with the draw. He can just walk with the draw at the end of the day.
Because it'd have been okay.
And it would have been okay because he'd have went right into a unification. He'd have got away with it. Will Stokes.
The reason why he was even so dumb though, Jeff, sorry to cut you off, was because at the time, AJ wasn't even champion. Ruiz was. So he didn't know if Ruiz would have knocked out AJ again. So the fact that you got into a unification and you could have an all in-house unification undisputed, bro, you were absolutely stupid.
And you would have had all the negotiating power when AJ came to see you. It was just dumb. It was
so dumb.
Will Stokes, I do, however, give him a lot of credit for taking the rematch because at that point he knew Fury wasn't actually washed.
That's what we're saying.
Yeah, well, pride to get you a lot of different places. I'll say that. Damn, Brian Perella, that was his name. Brian Perella.
That's it. Oh wow, how did I forget?
Jordan, big shout out to you, bro. Dwayne Sewell, people saying Spence didn't call out Crawford. Spence said he wanted all the belts on his side of the street, and then Crawford after Pac-Man. Not ducking, smart business in my eyes. Make sure he A-side. Hold on.
No. Wait. Can I answer this? The reason I can answer this because I know Dwayne's my cousin. Bro, you can't get away with that statement.
Oh, you know why that's your darn cut. All right, Shane.
You know why you can't get away with that statement? Because that argument could never be used against any other scenario. Let's say Wilder used that argument and said, "Oh, I'm not gonna fight AJ until AJ's on this side of the street." Bro, you know people be saying Wilder's ducking. Exactly. So you can't use the argument for just Errol. Nobody, bro, you can't say, "Oh, I'm gonna fight you if you're on the right side of the street." And either way, even if you look at it, before Pacquiao even became full champion, because Pacquiao had to beat Furman to become full champion, you could have fought Crawford. Because Pacquiao, remember, Furman was out for 2 years, so you couldn't unify there. You could have easily unified against Crawford before Pacquiao became champion. Let's keep it all the way 100.
What are you going to say now? Regardless of what happened before, what do you have to say now? Why is he not even trying to even? He should have been in that ring after the fight talking about let's do this.
Real rap. Edwin Castillo, the official boxing rules say the referee continues the count where he left off, and it's a 10 count, not a 10-second count. Edwin, that's not our debate. Our debate is 9 times out of 10, the referee. Nine times out of 10, the referee doesn't even start a count.
So Edwin Castillo, I don't know if you watched when Wilder fought Ortiz. Referee didn't count in that second fight. Referee just waved that fight off.
When it comes to this topic, I say this: it's always up to the ref discretion, and no two refs are the same. No two fights are the same. So, regardless of whether he got up or not, the ref said he got up. It's over.
And the thing is, if a referee is to not count, it would be in the 12th round of a grueling fight in the heavyweight division. So when
Bro,
I say
can
he
we
gave
address
him
one
max,
comment, bro?
go ahead.
Just this comment, please.
Hold on.
Jeff, you address this comment. You address this comment.
Edwin said, "This is my first time watching, and I'm skeptical if this isn't them LDBC Looney Tune channel. A fan of Canelo and boxing. I'm tired of all the hate. Can't enjoy this past fight without
we
hating
do
on
not do no
Canelo."
hating around
Hold
here.
on. Let me. It's best that I address this.
You have to address this.
Edwin Castillo, the fact that you stuck around here for 2 hours, I think you do like what's going on around here. Like, let's get that out the way. Number two, we base everything off of facts, not hate. If despite everything that's being said, you understand what I'm saying? We still have Canelo in the top 3. Now the problem, hold on, Shane. Now the problem is you said LDBC Looney Tune channel, right? So let me ask you a question. You've seen us come off of our square when it comes down to Canelo. We gave him his props and we gave him criticism. The problem is we've given Canelo criticism. You haven't addressed any of the criticism. So there's nothing Looney Tune about it. We've shown versatility in our opinions and our thoughts. And I'm like, and if you're gonna listen, and if you're gonna come in here, right, and you're not gonna acknowledge, we see that you a Canelo fan. That's cool. we can see that. That's cool. Every fighter is not perfect. Every fighter has pulled some bullshit. So if you're a real fan of Canelo, you should be able to call him on his bullshit as well. So
and the fact is, bro, just a good point just me. What you got to understand is you have a favorite fighter, which is cool. Canelo. You have a fighter that you like. So therefore, you're gonna have a bias towards that fighter. The difference is me and Jeff and Blaze, we don't have a favorite fighter. We don't. Blaze and Jeff
I do have a favorite fighter, but I always like I said, I do have a favorite fighter. I just keep my shit. I can keep my back away from my feelings with this. Blaze
and Jeff just brought up Usyk, and they brought up criticisms of Usyk, and I have to acknowledge those criticisms because they're facts. I can't argue with a fact. We were talking about Crawford before. They had to acknowledge the criticisms or the shortcomings of Crawford. You can't look at something and just be one-sided in your perspective. And to address the LDBC comment, bro, if you actually look at the videos that we make on this channel, bro, there is no channel that's doing the versatility that we're doing. None. Yeah. Trust me, we're straight versatile. So
yeah, bro. Edwin, and the thing is, bro, like the LDBC thing, we don't have anything against the LDBC at all. We're actually cool with a couple people that's in the LDBC. But the thing is, I don't think you've sat on the LDBC channel for 2 hours. You've been in here chopping it up with us for 2 hours plus. And everything that we've said in regards to Canelo is facts. And the thing is, it's up to you whether you acknowledge it, even though you're a fan. But I think you being a big fan of Canelo, you should be one of the main people holding him to a certain standard. You understand? Because you hold him in such high regard. It's less of a chance for us to hold him in a higher regard because we don't have a favorite fighter. If that's your favorite fighter, you should expect the most and the highest from your favorite fighter. So it's up to you to acknowledge some of the things that we're kicking. The thing is, the quote unquote, some of the LDBC dudes or some of the vibes that you're talking about, they don't acknowledge anything. 2 hours, we've acknowledged a whole bunch of stuff. And I think you're sticking around because we're acknowledging a whole lot of stuff. And we're letting you cook. And we letting you cook.
You didn't have to pay $50 for us to read your comment.
Listen, I had to, no super chat, no nothing.
Let me respond to him a little bit, all right. So we can't hate on somebody and then be picking them like for real. I'm picking Canelo in all these people that we're talking about that we rather see him fight. I'm picking him
for sure.
I see him beating these guys, but the fact that he's going about the route that he's going to get, to avoid these fighters is kind of asinine to me, which brings my level of respect down. I don't hate the man. I respect him tremendously. I've seen him boxing in the ring. The only real fight I ever seen him being dominated in was against Mayweather. Everybody else, he's been right there. He does have a couple questionable fights on his resume that I feel he lost, but that doesn't that doesn't demean anything of how I feel about him. There's no hate going on here, bro. And we do appreciate you tuning in on the channel and commenting because you're engaging.
Listen, you've been around here for 2 hours straight, bro. Like it's like you can't be on here for 2 hours straight and then you call us LDBC Looney Tune. You've been rocking with us for 2 hours straight. You got to give us a little more respect than that. But in all seriousness though, if you look at the content, bro, we're covering UK fights, international fights. We cover absolutely everything. We cover 118-pound division, 122, 126, 130, 154, 168, 175. Like we give it to you. We give it to you raw. Uncut. We give it to you raw.
Skepticism, I understand the skepticism because some of those channels, some of them dudes do be speaking with their heart instead of just facts. And I understand that, but that's not what's going on here.
That's not. Listen, and the thing is, and Blaze is an extension of what's going on around here because I talk to Blaze more off camera than on camera. Yeah. So I know. So me and him been vibing before I even started the channel.
Right.
So we've been talking boxing way before that. Before I knew Shane. Before I knew who Shane was, I was going back and forth with Blaze. We work until 1, 2 o'clock in the goddamn morning and we talking boxing. Right. You understand what I'm saying? So Edwin, we want you to stick around long term, but just know we're not in here asking you for super chats. We ain't in here for you to be like, all right, you should have this opinion. Ain't nobody block you or nothing like that. Bro. Yeah, like you in here cooking up, bro. You in here. You not any other LDBC channel and be able to cook up the way you cooking up here.
But what I would say, Edwin, is if you really feel like you know about boxing, if you really feel like you know about boxing, there's only one way to prove us wrong. Go to G5JeffTV.com.
Absolutely.
And make your predictions. Make your predictions.
Bro, go to the fantasy league, bro. $500 for the winner of the league, man. Is absolutely free to join. Absolutely free to join. You can't beat that. You know what I'm saying? Burt Wood, Wilder versus Fury 1, ref Reese said when he started the count, Reese noticed Fury right knee was bent. Plus Fury right foot was pointing up. That is very deep.
Before you cook on that, on my channel, I got to ask Jack Reese about the fight. Go check that video out and see what he said. I specifically asked him about that knockdown too.
Let me guide people a little bit more to that. So
please. I didn't even know you asked.
I got to ask him.
So Jack Reese is on Barbershop Conversations, and Blaze had a chance to actually jump on and actually ask Jack Reese that question. Now, what happened was Barbershop Conversations really didn't do Blaze any favors because he acted like he didn't know what he was talking about. And then Jack Reese basically followed suit. Yeah, he followed suit and acted like he didn't know what Blaze was talking about. But I knew exactly what Blaze was talking about. But that's the problem going on a platform like that. And you're trying to get your questions off. So I do understand the skepticism, like no doubt about it. Will Stokes is pretty petty, but I genuinely worry that Spence Crawford won't get made because they won't be able to agree whose name comes first on the poster. It can be a lot of
that's a good point, though.
That's a good point. Yeah, it matters for sure. To
Dwayne, them, not for
us, to them, it matters. Yeah, for sure.
Bro, you're gonna have to do this. You're gonna have to do these posters flipping inverted, bro.
Yeah, for real. Like Dwayne Sewell, no, I said he gonna fight the guys on his side of the street first, then Crawford. No. Listen.
Didn't he already do that?
That's what he said at that particular time. Business wise, is that smart? Absolutely. But you're saying that thinking that Bud is never gonna leave Top Rank. What we saying right now, he ain't with Top Rank.
Right, there's
no excuse
there's
now.
no
But bro,
excuses.
There's no excuse.
But bro, the reason why I don't even care about that is because I don't work for PBC. I know you don't work for PBC. So I'm holding a fighter to fight the best. I don't care what makes the best business sense. Ain't going in my pocket. But I'm a fan, so I just want to see you fight the best.
But that's what I'm saying.
3 years ago,
it's over now, though. Those excuses.
That's what I'm saying.
Over.
All that is a
more
wrap. None of that.
Talk about everything is right. Everything.
None of that business stuff matters. None of that business stuff matters now. That's the thing. He said all of that and he did all of that.
Right.
No
everything
reason.
Every excuse that he made, Terrence Crawford has taken care of it. He's got his belt. Who's he fought? He's on the wrong side of the street. None of those excuses are valid anymore.
None of that stuff matters. So I'm like, Spence is going to have to.
What's he going to come up with next?
What is he going to come up with?
Something.
That's what I'm saying. What is he going to come up with at the end of the day? Because Spence, he got 3 choices. He can fight Bud. He can fight Ugas. He can fight
154. No, he can move up to 154.
He's definitely not going to fight
154
because
he's not going to fight Boots.
He's
not going to fight Boots. He looked like he don't want to fight Crawford. He might fight Ugas. But he has no excuse now. He has no excuse. None whatsoever.
I think his next fight is going to be Ugas. That's all I see it.
It may be. Dwayne said Crawford would do the same if he was in Spence's position. Nobody's arguing that. Nobody's arguing that.
You're starting to sound like a
you're starting to sound like a real Spence fan.
You sound like a Spence sexual,
I think Crawford's going to fight Keith Thurman next. I think he's going to put Keith Thurman
I don't
in
think he's
the
going to fight Keith Thurman capping. Keith Thurman is capping.
No. Keith, let me explain to you why it might be a good move for him. If he put Keith Thurman, didn't Earl Spence fight Keith Thurman? I don't believe Earl knocked him out or knocked him down.
No, he never fought Keith Thurman.
He never fought Keith Thurman.
Oh, okay.
He never fought Thurman.
Never fought Thurman.
So, no, I'm sorry. That was Pacquiao. Damn. That's where my brain at.
This is the thing. Keith Thurman ice cold in these streets, yo. It would be no reason.
There's no point now.
He has no point in fighting Thurman. He has no point in fighting Thurman. Hey, Dwayne, the only thing I need to hear from you, brother, is what's holding it up. Forget all that up. Forget all that talk you're doing right now.
Starting to sound like a Spence sexual, bro. Starting to sound like a Spence sexual.
Hey, listen, man. What's the excuse? There's nothing holding it back. Will Stokes, even if they get 50-50, they still have to decide whose name comes first and who walks in first. Listen, hey, Will. Fighters do care about that, but bro, if that fight happens, it's all gonna be under the same.
Honestly, let me say this. Bro, I don't think Crawford really gives a fuck about who name comes first. I don't see this man saying, "Well, I don't see Crawford doing that." I can see Spence. I can see Earl doing that.
I can see Spence
doing that. Like for sure.
Even if it's. I think at this point, Crawford just wants to get this guy in the ring. It doesn't even matter about the paycheck anymore.
Yeah, I think Bud is the type be like, you know what? Put his name first on the poster. You know
but
what?
You know what the truth is?
Hold on, Shane. Hold on. He said, like, I think Bud would tell Spence, like, yo, you can have your name first on the poster. You know what, bro? You can come in the ring second, but when that bell ring, I'm gonna whip your ass. I haven't heard that. I haven't heard that from Spence. I haven't heard that from Spence.
All I keep hearing is why I don't want to fight you. Yeah,
I don't like Spence energy I don't like Spence energy. My bad, Shane. Go ahead.
No, I go to the next comment, bro. It's coming.
Okay. Hold on, Jordan. Honestly, Canelo is hijacking Roy Jones Jr. route to fame, but I don't want to be a fanboy. That's an interesting comment. Why do you say that?
Yeah, no, but bro, you know what? You know what?
Yeah,
you know what? I will explain. You know what? Yeah, I'll keep it real. I was talking to Lowdown about this, and Lowdown said nobody criticized Roy Jones for fighting John Ruiz, who was the weakest champion at heavyweight. Now Cruz. 1 second. Now Canelo is fighting the weakest champion at a cruiserweight.
Can I answer that question with a question?
Go ahead.
What other champions was at heavyweight at the time?
Vladimir Klitschko and Vitaly Klitschko.
Okay, so if you're Roy Jones, right? If you're Roy Jones, who would you fight in your first fight at heavyweight?
But he's picking the weakest champion, which is the same thing Canelo's doing.
But
first of all, Roy Jones should have never been a heavyweight. He's not a heavyweight, man.
Neither should Canelo, though. But neither should Canelo.
But here's the difference.
Canelo never fought at heavyweight. He fought at light heavyweight.
No, but he's gonna move up to cruiserweight.
He's moving up to cruiserweight. Yeah,
that's still not heavyweight.
Yeah, but it's close enough though. Close
It's
enough.
close enough. It's close enough.
Close enough. So here's the thing with this is why Jordan I disagree, because I didn't know what you was talking about until Shane just explained it. This is why I disagree with that comment. To be honest with you, Roy Jones wasn't even a big 175. Like, let's keep it a bang.
Neither is Canelo.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. There's nobody at cruiserweight that's equivalent to Vitaly Klitschko and Vladimir Klitschko. Now, as good as Bradis is, there is no comparison.
The one thing I would say is when Roy Jones moved up to heavyweight, there was no one else that people were calling him to fight. There is a whole laundry list that people want Canelo to fight. That is the difference.
But that's what I'm saying.
Laundry list that people want him to fight before they move up to
that's why I
cruiserweight.
said that's why I don't agree with the comment, because
I was just playing devil's advocate.
Canelo cruiserweight if Usyk's still there.
Of course not. That's why he ain't fighting Bradis. Yeah, of course not. That's why he's not fighting Bradis or Okolie. Yeah. Bro, Okolie's 6'6" and weighs 220 pounds. He's not gonna fight Okolie, is he? Because Okolie's massive.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's this, you're not gonna fight a guy a foot taller and it's gonna come in probably like 30 pounds heavier than you. So basically, with that comparison, as far as Roy Jones, you're basically asking the dude to fight somebody, guys at 6'6" and 6'7", 240, 250 pounds.
Yeah, bro, there's no way Roy Jones could have fought Vitaly.
It's no way. Yeah, it's no way. Like, I understand what you're saying, but it's just, it's reality, bro. Like,
but the truth is, Roy Jones moved up to test himself because there was no more tests. No one can tell me Canelo's doing the same thing, because Canelo could fight Viterbian right now, and that will be a test.
That's a fact.
That will be a test.
100% facts. Edwin said the homie in the hoodie is legit chill, and I'm saying because it's my first time, not that I'm not enjoying this channel. Edwin, the thing is, bro, first of all, we appreciate you being on. Like, that's
definitely
number one. So hopefully you'll consistently be on the channel.
And in the fantasy league.
In the fantasy league. That's off top. So, and the second thing is, I feel like, and I hate to say this, but this is something that we have to battle. Guys like myself, Shane, Blaze, Blunt, other guys. A lot of times when you see black people
and they're opinionated,
you see black people on a YouTube channel. When it comes down to boxing, a lot of people automatically think LDBC. I know for a while on this channel, I literally had to announce that I'm not LDBC. Like, I felt like I had to put that. You know how you got the warning labels? Like, I almost felt like I had to say I'm not LDBC, like, before I get my live started. You know what I mean? Like, so I understand what you're saying, Edwin. It's a whole different ball game over here, bro. It's a whole different ball game over
here. By staying
here
for 1 week, you'll be able to tell the difference.
You'll be able to tell the difference. If you rock with us the whole week, if you still think that is LDBC Looney Tunes, then so be it.
The truth is, there's no LDBC person that's going live for Tim Zoo versus Nui. That's all I need to say.
That's a fact. That's a fact. And the thing is, and this dude's stay ready is LDBC. He'll tell you, he'll come on here and tell you we official. He'll get on here and tell you we official.
But I ain't gonna lie, I understand where you're coming from, because there's a lot of those guys that I don't watch because like, they just lead with their feelings most of the time.
Yeah.
I be feeling like I feel like this is their favorite fighter, so they're gonna do everything in their power to make the other fighters look bad sometimes. And I don't agree with that. Sometimes they give out some facts, but you know, a lot of that stuff is mixed in, so that's why we started our own thing over here.
Absolutely. And the thing is, I'm very consistent. Like, I told Shane, and Edwin, this is for you, just to give you a little background, a little context. So I told Shane a long time ago, I said, yo, bro, like, you should start your own channel. And he was like, bro, I don't want to go through the headache of starting my own channel. I don't want to record. I don't want to do nothing.
He got me here.
And so. And I told Blaze, I said, yo, bro, I'm like, you might as well just start your own joint. Because it's like, once you start investing time in other people's joints, and it's to the point to where you're spending most of your day like arguing on other people's joints, you should probably start your own joint. Right. You know what I'm saying? And it's isolated situations like Shane, where he just chooses not to start his own joint. Could he do it? Absolutely. You understand what I'm saying? But he's comfortable in this space. But I'm like, everybody needs their voice at the end of the day, but your voice shouldn't be skewed by your feelings. It should be skewed by facts. You understand what I'm saying? And that's the difference between here, myself, Shane, Bleeze, a couple other guys compared to other places.
If he ever go on my channel and look through my old videos, and you could, I literally start the videos saying that we only live in the world of facts over here, not feelings, not lies, not the bullshit. That's the way we play.
That's facts. So if you, Edwin, so if you down with that, then go rock on Blee's channel. You know what I'm saying? Like, come here every day, 5 o'clock, 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. We gonna be here. You understand what I'm saying?
I might not be here as much as these two guys because I work these hours. I'm usually off to get on the live today. But
listen,
I'll my best.
Listen, and the thing is, bro, like we cook up as much as we possibly can. All we asking from you, bro, rock with us for a week.
Most of the time.
Yeah, like rock with us for a week.
Like 5 minutes before the live.
Listen, Edwin, rock with us for a week and tell us what it is after a week. I guarantee you're not that mentality is gonna be completely out of your brain. You're gonna feel like you're at home. Right. You're gonna feel like you're at home at the end of the day.
And the truth is, don't be upset to say your opinion because if you saw Blunt is a other person who's on live with us, BoxingFirst Vlog, and we cook this dude more than we cook chicken. Like, he says at least one thing per show where you really gotta be like, you really gotta talk to yourself.
He said something, I don't know what it was. He's in the car, I wanted to get on to man. What are you talking about?
Blunt will say something, and we be like,
"That's my boy, though."
I literally be having to talk to myself and be like, "Jeff, don't feed into this shit." That's literally how it is. So, bro, you can really get your opinion off over here, and it's really about nothing. Like, we just talking boxing at the end of the day. Dwayne Sewell Spence versus Crawford for all the belts is much better money wise for both fighters. Yeah, I mean, it's a legacy fight. It's a legacy fight, and the money makes sense. Will Stokes, although, and another thing, Dwayne Sewell, the thing is, bro, they can take the Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder model and make that fight real simple. Right. Will Stokes, although I will say this, is it just me or are some of these big fights that used to seem impossible to get made or all of a sudden seeming likely they could actually happen? Andre Charlo and Bud Spence.
That's a great question, though.
Andre Charlo ain't happening. Andre Charlo ain't happening.
I don't see a
Charlo don't want that smoke. Charlo don't want that smoke.
I'm still waiting. I told you. I said this earlier in the live. I've been off the Charlos, man. When they want to step up and actually fight somebody, that's when I start paying attention to the Charlos again. But a lot of these fights, it's a billion fights out here that we want to see that still has not been made.
I mean, Jamel took the fight and almost lost. I know for a fact. And all of a sudden, he ain't talking about that rematch. He's talking about everybody else.
Yeah, Maul don't want Maul has talked as if he don't want that action.
So he don't want the rematch with Costello?
I thought it's going down in February. I thought it said it's going down in February.
I don't know. I didn't hear nothing else about it.
Apparently Charlo's fighting. Apparently Charlo's fighting is mandatory.
No,
man, I tell you like this, that shit better not be on no pay-per-view again because I'm not paying that shit again. I will not pay this watch.
Hold on, my man, stay ready. Hold on.
Stay ready will know way more than us because obviously he knows those views.
I'm not paying to see them.
He said,
I need them to step in the ring.
He said it's supposed to be Charlo Castano, February, Houston. Stay ready. Stay ready. If you listening, bro, let us know. Let us know
if that fight's in Houston, I'd be upset because Castano is a controversial decision. He should have put it somewhere neutral because that's a bit unfair to Castano.
Yeah, but the thing is, that's the only place where they're gonna generate some real money, though.
I know what
they're not gonna generate money anywhere else.
I didn't know who Costello was until Jeff brought him up to before the fight and called the fight a draw before the fight even happened.
Yeah. For real, facts.
And some people thought Castano won that fight.
I thought he won the fight. I thought he won the fight. Blunt thought Charlo won.
I had Charlo winning the fight, but it could have went either way for me.
Yeah.
If Castano would have won on the cards, I wouldn't have been mad. If it was a draw, I wouldn't have been mad. It was that close of a fight.
Yeah, it was a tight fight, man. Tight fight. Will Stokes, both those fights all of a sudden seem like they could actually happen, especially Bud Spence. Listen, we are in a really good space as far as boxing is concerned.
You've been in
a good space.
I say this as fans, we need to push this fight to make it happen. Do you put enough?
Spence ain't got no excuses, man. He got no excuses.
He need public pressure on him to get this fight done.
Yeah, and as much as I love Boots got to take a back seat. I need to see Spence Crawford. I need to see Spence Crawford. I need to see Spence Crawford. Bud can stay occupied with something else.
Jeff, me and Jeff even spoke about this. Like, honestly, like when it comes to Charlo and Andre, we're gonna do everything to make that fight. Like vocally, that has to happen. It's the same thing with Bud and Spence. Like the two Bud that has to happen.
At this point in Boots' career, he need to get one of the gatekeepers in the ring. The Porters, the Danny Garcias, the Keith Thurmans. He need to get one of them.
Listen, the thing is, he at this point, he don't even.
I don't think none of them are going to get in the ring though.
Yeah, none of them are going to get in the ring with him. But then on top of that, he don't even need to. Spence is right there. It's no excuse. Like he's right there.
Spence is never going to take that fight.
No, he's talking about Boots. He's talking about Boots, bro.
He's talking about you talking about Boots.
Yeah, I'm talking about.
You talking about Boots, bro. Okay, so Boots
got to get one of the gatekeepers in the ring right now.
So what Boots need to do, right? And I know Rod probably listening. So the thing Boots need to do, he need to get himself into a mandatory position. He has to get himself in a position of where he can't be ducked. It's either they drop the belt or they fight him. He needs to get to his mandatory spot. So be honest with you, fighting Keith Thurman right now.
Yeah, one of the gatekeepers.
Yeah, but it ain't
fight a Porter or Danny Garcia or
they're not
Thurman.
Him and Danny are never fighting.
No, we already know how that's going to end.
Yeah, Danny's not going to fight him. Shawn Porter's retired. Keith Thurman, I think he capping. So at the end of the day, he needs to get to a mandatory spot. So one of the champions have to see him either drop the belt or fight Boots. That's the best position for Boots to be in. Like that's better than him actually fighting a gatekeeper with a name.
All right,
you know what I mean?
Let me ask you this, Jeff: is Boots in the same position Terrence Crawford was 3 years ago?
Facts. He's in the same position Spence was a couple years ago too. Before he got the Kell Brook fight.
Exactly.
He's in the same spot. But the thing is,
the difference is though. One thing I would say the difference is when Spence came up or when Crawford came up, there wasn't a champion there who was I don't want to say cupcake, but he ain't at the elite level. Like when Spence came up, there was only Keith Thurman champion, Kell Brook champion, and I think who else was there? Keith. And no, in fact, there was. He had.
Yeah, was it Pacquiao? No, was it Jeff Horn? Jeff Horn.
No, it's Pacquiao.
It was Pacquiao. But even with that, both of them, but Bud and Spence did the exact same thing. They put themselves into a mandatory spot where the champion had no choice. You either fight him or you drop the belt. Boots has to put himself in the same position. And throughout history, that's what all of the guys that are supposed to be the next coming, they put them. That's the only way they're gonna get their shot. Nobody's going to openly say, I want to fight that dude right there.
Nobody wants to fight Boots because, like I said, it's all risk, no reward.
It's the same thing. It's the same.
He wasn't ready.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing when Andre Ward was champion at 175 and Beterbiev was coming up. There was no way Andre Ward was going to be like, nope, I'm going to pick you, Beterbiev. He had to wait until Andre Ward relinquished the strap.
Absolutely. So it's this. Yeah, Spence has no excuse now. Like it should be Spence.
We had that. That's just clear and cut. He had no excuse.
Clear cut, no excuse. Period. Burtwood, Porter should fire Dad like Wilder did. Breland rematch. Porter wanted to go out on the shield.
Can I cook a little bit on that?
Go ahead, bro.
Right. A lot of people didn't like his dad throwing in the towel. If you watch that fight, he was catching Porter cleanly. It was a match. I don't know. I believe Porter would have made it to the 12th round, but why take that chance? That's his son, man. Like, you don't want to see your son just getting caught cleanly and getting dropped. First of all, he knew that Porter stood no chance in that fight from the beginning. That's why they didn't want this fight. And him throwing in the towel, like I said, wasn't that Porter was hurt, whereas though he couldn't continue or nothing like that, because Porter was mad. But he understood why. That's why he couldn't be that mad.
All right, bro, please. So I said that at the start of the live, and that's why I said I could show understanding for throwing in the towel. The only thing I would say is which you have to take into consideration, bro, because I was thinking the same thing as you, and I still agree with everything you said. The only thing is, Kenny Porter didn't use your logic and my logic to justify why he threw in the towel.
Right.
That's the only thing I disagree.
He didn't say that.
He did not say that. He said you didn't listen. That's what I disagree with. I agree with everything you said, other than the fact that when he spoke, he didn't say, you know what, I don't want to see my son go out like that. He didn't say that. Because if he said that, I'd be like, you know what, as a man, you have a right to say that. You said my son didn't train.
Yeah,
my son didn't train. So go ahead. Please.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's the part I didn't get. That's where it seemed like the rift came in. Like something was going on in that camp that we don't know about, I think. And I believe it was everybody knew that he stood no chance against against Crawford, because Crawford, those combinations, he has defense, he moves laterally, and Porter does none of that. Porter wants to get inside without a jab, move his head around, rough you up, make the fight as ugly and dirty as possible. And you know what told me he wasn't going to win this fight? I'm going to give you the perfect example. What told me he was not going to win this fight was the Kell Brook fight. You see how Kell Brook dismantled him through that whole fight. Had his face looking like the bloody mask with what? Nothing but a jab and a straight right hand in that entire fight. So imagine if when Terrence Crawford went to southpaw, and just look at how befuddled he was in those first 3 rounds. I don't know if anybody noticed that. As soon as Terrence Crawford went to southpaw, it was completely over, and he could not figure out what to do with the southpaw and to get out of the way of that check right hook. Because Porter does not have the skills. And that Kell Brook fight proved that.
Bro, let me quickly run through literally loads of these comments. Like after Andrade and Crawford has their fights, it seems like everyone is talking about those fights in a way more realistic. Yeah, that's true. But plus I think there's a real good shot we actually see Lopez Haney after. Bro, that's a fight that we're gonna spend a whole life talking about. I don't even want to get into that. So it really feels like a lot of barriers are being broken potentially. This has been fun, and again, I'm just tired of the hate. Not that you are LDBC Looney Tunes. I'm saying because it's my first time and I ain't mad at what Shane has been saying, going back and forth. No, bro, it's just difference of opinions. But I come with facts. So it's not like I'm not anybody else.
It's all pretty much collective opinions around here, bro.
Rob's still around, bro. I don't know. I hope he is, which is fantastic for boxing. I try and stay humble, but I gotta say that me and my little bro are kind of smoking you guys in the league, bro. The league is real long, and you're not even at the top right now, unless your name is Andre Southgate. I don't want to hear nothing from no one.
Hey, Will, man. I appreciate the trash talk, man. But you've put yourself in position to get the trash talk later on. Like
until it's over, bro.
Yeah, listen, man. I'm in a football league with Bleeze and them. I was in first place for 1 week. I was talking smack. As soon as I seen I was in first place, I'm in the chat and all that. I ain't won a game since until this week. Like I lost like 3 straight. Straight.
Where are you in the league now?
I think I'm fourth. I think I'm fourth or fifth. I think
I think you're fourth. Fifth.
Fourth. I think in fifth. I think the top 6 teams make the play. I'm in the playoffs. Like
Where's Blaze? Where's Blaze?
Said that they won a
Blaze is what, you third, bro? You third?
I'm second.
He's second.
Wait, is this a prediction league? How does it work?
No,
it's football.
Football
Fantasy
league.
football.
So it's like you pick fantasy football. So you pick, you
Oh,
know, you have a draft.
no,
Yeah.
I know what it means. I know what it means.
Yeah.
Like we have that for football. Well, we have that
Next
for
year,
real football,
Shane, we're gonna
not
let you
NFL.
win, man, because we got a couple spots we need to fill because these motherfuckers.
No. I've never watched the NFL game in my life.
Yo,
That's
but next year though, we gotta
fall in love
extend. We gotta extend it. What's the max you can have in a fantasy league?
12.
12.
You
Yeah,
can
so
do
we
up to
gotta
12
get. We
teams.
need 2 more.
We
need
can
2
do
more
a
hands.
16 league team, but it's just way too.
Well, obviously at G5JustTV.com we have no limit. We're just unlimited right
It
now.
can be hundreds of people.
Hundreds of
How
people
about
in
this, Shane?
league.
We'll let you in for free next year so you can get your feet wet and learn how to do this.
But I don't watch NFL.
He
so
don't watch
know.
NFL, so he don't know nothing about it.
We can teach him all that, man.
I don't know. I don't know any. I only know what is his name. Tom Brady. I only know one.
That's the only person he knows.
Bro, all you gotta do is get you a draft board.
Yeah,
look up videos. You can do this.
Hey Shane, run through the rest of these joints real quick.
Go
ahead. Jordan Campini. We need some cross promotion editing battle. Unfortunately, it couldn't be made. Yeah, I get what you mean. Is fun and when there is no disrespect and just talk. So I get your criticism, and that's why I have been around. All love,
we all respect each other around here.
Exactly.
All love, bro.
Fact.
All love.
Will Stokes says if either Bud or Spence take Ugas, then next then I respect it. I understand why they'll take it because it's an easy strap. Shane, don't try that with me. I know. I tried to throw that in there just to see.
Yo,
if
is he in the same? Is he in the house with you right now?
Bro, if he was, I wouldn't be speaking so confident. This guy's got like 40 pounds on me, bro.
That's funny. That is funny.
His injury is holding him. Nah. Edwin has beat. Everyone has beat. Perhaps the easiest of the champions, and if the fire is moving up, they still should get credit. The truth is, bro, my point is it's about fighting the easiest available opponent. So it's about who's available. Some dudes just they can't get other opponents in the ring, so it's just what's available. Cool.
Or let me say this
though. Anyone in the ring.
But as fans, as a fan, I'm pretty sure I can speak for Jeff and Shane. We want to see the best fight the best. We don't want to see you. I don't want to see Canelo's his favorite fight. I don't want to see Canelo keep fighting tomato cans. Not saying that's all he fought, but he has fought some tomato cans, and we're going to acknowledge that. But I want to see Canelo fight the best now. We already seen what he can do to tomato cans. Let's see what he does against the best. And like I said, I pick him in a lot of these fights.
Hey Shane, let me say this. Let me say this before you get to the next comment. Edwin, the fact that we want to see him against the best is credit to Canelo, bro. Like we think he can handle it. We think he can handle it. Like we think he can handle it. Yeah, we know he can handle it.
Bro, I pick him to beat. I tell you, I pick him to beat Charlo. I pick him to beat Andre. I pick him to beat.
Who else is there for him to fight though?
There's
only 3 guys. There's only 3 guys who's gonna get him problems.
I want to see Terrence Crawford versus Canelo. I would watch that fight.
Now you're tripping.
Too small.
You're tripping, bro.
I think he's way too small.
I think he's way too small.
No, he's way too small.
There's only 3 guys. There's only 3 guys who's gonna get Canelo trouble. There's David Benavidez, Beterbiev, Bivol.
Honestly,
the only 3 guys who gonna get him trouble.
I don't agree with you on that. I don't believe Benavidez gives him a lot of trouble.
You are bugging.
You are
bugging.
I think
you are bugging, bro.
He gives him trouble.
He gives him hella trouble.
I think it's a good fight. I don't know about trouble though.
Let me tell you why.
Trouble.
Let me tell you why I think he gives him trouble. Because the last time, Benavidez will be one of the only fighters who will get Canelo going in reverse. And the last time we saw Canelo go in reverse, we can arguably say he lost, and that was the Golovkin first fight. Everybody else since that first fight has made Canelo back him up. Benavidez ain't taking no back step against Canelo.
Who was Benavidez' biggest fight?
So Darrell most likely, probably Darrell.
Yeah. Are we talking about Darrell that hasn't been shit for years? I mean, he just got a good knockout, I believe, like 2 weeks ago, right? But if that's the best on your list or on his list, yeah, I'm definitely picking Canelo.
I get you, but also you got to look at like dimensions as well. This dude's real physically strong and physically imposing. He can cause Canelo to go back, which is my main reason why I think he can cause troubles. Like, I don't think Canelo has a back foot game. That's why I feel like he
I
can
seen
cause
him on his
problems.
back foot though. I mean, the only time I seen him on his back foot is the first Golovkin fight, and
he arguably lost that fight. He arguably lost.
arguably won, and it was a draw. Like I said, it could have. I wouldn't have been mad either way. But like I've seen him fight on this, and it's not like he got dominated in that fight or anything like that.
No, but Benavidez is bigger and stronger than Golovkin.
But like I said, when it comes just like when it comes to the pound for pound list of Usyk, I've seen Canelo. I've seen him switch his game up. I've seen him in trouble. I've seen him take a good punch. I haven't seen Benavidez do that.
No, that's a fair
point. I get you. That's fair. That's fair.
Go ahead, Shane.
Jordan, a fair point, but in the 850, we remember the champ retiring and Ruiz stepped up.
You got to do the comment before that. That is hilarious.
Oh, Keith Thurman somewhere in the rainforest.
I was definitely thinking that too. Like, he running out of money. That's why he done spent all his money to goddamn rainforest.
Yo, that might be the comment of the night. That might be the comment of the night, yo.
Every time I think about this, all I think about that picture of him sitting on the ground playing the damn flute. What are you doing, man?
Yeah, it's funny.
His boxing career was over from that picture. Like it was
that's a good one too. Read that one, Shane.
No, but you have to respect Boxing First Vlog. My man, Boxing First Vlog is the official Johnny Nelson of G5 FTV. For those who, I have to apply context for this. Johnny Nelson is the man who said James Tennyson will knock out Tank Davis. That's why he's saying it. But Johnny Nelson actually doesn't know about
boxing. Let me ask y'all. This is what I really wanted to ask y'all. Are y'all paying for the next Tank Davis fight?
I ain't paying for it. But I don't paying
for that shit. First of all, when Romero signed that fight, I knew damn well he wasn't going to fight him. He just was looking for a way out from the beginning of the fight. Beginning of this contract sign.
Oh, Rolly?
Yeah.
Oh no, I can tell you about this might be off camera stuff, but no, he wanted that smoke. I'll tell you off. I'm gonna tell you off. I'm gonna tell you off camera. I'm gonna tell you off camera why. I'm gonna tell you off camera why. It's a personal thing. It's a personal thing. Rolly definitely wanted that smoke.
But I definitely wanted that smoke. Even if that fight happens, I don't give him a chance.
No, I agree with that. But the question was about him. And the question was him, did he want the smoke? He definitely wanted the smoke. He definitely wanted the smoke.
If it's something I don't know, but
yeah, I had to talk to you off camera about that.
Like me just watching that press conference of them two, his mannerism, how he was responding to the questions and talking to Tank, like it just seemed like first of all he was there for a paycheck. Who in the hell come to a
bro in a
that goddamn fur on? Like, what the fuck? This is not no goddamn fashion show. What are you doing, man?
Nigga came to
hold on. That's why I was wondering where Blaze is going with that. It was the fur he ain't like. That I knew it was something.
Bro,
he had a
fur coat
but that's what pushed me over the edge. It's just like
no top but a fur coat in 200 degrees.
I ain't never seen that. Was up there with Paul Malignaggi coming out with the thong on and shit, with the elephant thong and shit to the weigh-in. Like, that's up there. Why? Why the fuck do y'all do this stupid shit?
Edwin says, yeah, bro, I'm rocking. And what is it, Blaze? Link to his, what is the link to your channel, bro? What's the name of your channel?
Blaze 215 or New Wave Boxing Media. I gotta find some way to, I can't wait to, I don't know how to type it in.
No, go to you on your phone.
Yeah, that's why I'm using my phone.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna do
you a favor. My son done broke my other goddamn phone. Can't even use it.
With my man Gabe.
Yeah, breaking shit. That's what it is up with his ass.
Why Jeff is going through that, I'm gonna continue going through the comments. No, to be fair, Blaze, you have to give respect to Jamel. He's been fighting mad names. Yeah, Jamal is doing his job. Jamal was just the one.
Yeah, the older one. Yeah, I give him more respect than the younger one. But like, I still need them to get in the ring. Like, I just don't think they have fought anybody that could show them any potential risk. Maybe the little brother, shit, since he fought the 2 draws already. I mean, no, a loss and a draw.
Yeah. Bruce Stokes. No, L-Dub reported Mel Castano rematch February.
That's big.
No, when I spoke to L-Dub last, this might have been a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. But maybe things change in boxing, so I'm glad that's the fact that's happening. I thought Castano clearly won it. Fair enough, that's your opinion. I heard that Jamel didn't want the rematch because Brian Castano wanted harder testing. Is there any truth to that? I don't know if that's true, but the one person you should ask is a dude called L-Dub Boxing. There's no one in the sport that knows more boxing than this dude. Nobody. And I say that with my heart. Dwayne says Keith, one time done out.
Now I keep hearing a lot of things about Gary Russell. What's going on with Gary Russell, man? Like last time I heard he was trying to get Tank in the ring, and then I don't know what's going on with him, man. He used to be one of my favorite fighters too, man. Ever since that what's not Klitschko, what's the other guy's name that he lost to?
To my Loma?
Loma. Ever since that loss, I just don't think he's gotten back to the level where he was at. Because he used to be feared, man. Now I just barely see him. Like he don't even fight on undercards. Anybody know would let me know what's going on with Russ, man. Because it's time for him to step up and do something if he's trying to get Loma back in the ring.
He was supposed to fight Zerdo, not the Ray Vargas. Because Ray Vargas was his mandatory, but he didn't take that fight. So
I didn't even hear nothing about that. The last thing I heard was
Ray Vargas is a good fighter, trust me.
Loma was trying to get the rematch with Teofimo, but that didn't go through. And Teofimo is fighting somebody this weekend, isn't he?
Kambosos. Yeah.
The fight that was canceled originally, right? I think
Yeah,
we're gonna see. Because that's the last fight Teofimo had, right? With Lomachenko. That was almost a year ago. Jesus, man. This is where boxing is at. These guys taking a year out of the ring to come back.
And that's some shit that Al doing, man. That's the one thing I don't like about Al. He got too many guys on the shelf. Will Stokes, Blaze. What do you mean he had no chance? I believe Shawn and Kenny believe they could have won that fight, and he was winning that fight before the stoppage. I had Shawn up.
Can I cook on that?
But
all right, so
Will Stokes had it 7-2, by the way, which I don't know what he was smoking.
I'm gonna speak on all that. All right, so if you ever go on my page, I was saying this almost 2 years to 3 years ago that when they were trying to get Crawford and Earl in the ring together, and everybody said he should just fight Porter, and I told everybody at that point, I don't care about this fight because I already knew how it was going to end. Porter didn't stand a chance to me because when it comes to Porter, he does, like I said, he suffers from the Deontay Wilder effect. He does not have a lot of tools in the belt. And what Porter suffers from, the worst thing in the worst flaw in his game is he lunges a lot. He leans forward over his toes. And when you lean forward over your toes, you're opening yourself up for that uppercut. And when you're lunging in, you're just setting yourself to be caught with a check left hook or right hook. Perfect prime example. Look at the Mayweather and Ricky Hatton fight. Ricky kept trying to jump in without no jab,
and he punched him into the corner.
His head ended up in the damn turnbuckle.
Yeah, like it was WWE.
Right. That's all Terrence Crawford was.
But you know, bro, do you not remember there was a time where Crawford done that to Porter, where he threw that hook and he ended up throwing him into the turnbuckle?
I saw that. I saw that. And like I said,
that was actually a good example.
If you look at that fight from round 1 through 10, right? And this, I'm do 1 through 10. If you look at that fight, Crawford did the same thing all night long. When he jumped in, try to catch him with this left hook, spin off of him, push him out the way, get out of range. Every time he came in. And then in the 10th round, the end of the 9th round into the 10th, if you look it up, the corner told Crawford he was down. And Crawford was like, "Oh, I'm down. Oh, I'm down. All right, I got this." Went in there and that's the clutch gene, bro. Don't nobody go in there. All right, I'm about to take this nigga right out right now, and that's exactly what he did.
A Blaze, but that exact comment just goes to show you can't say that he didn't have no shot when
Who?
the opponents. When
all
the
right, so,
opponent's
yeah,
on when
let me
the
get back to
opponent's
that.
whole corner, when the opponent's own corner say, "Yo, bro, you down?"
That's what I've
Go
been
ahead.
talking to y'all about before. All right, so when like I said, I went live to watch the fight. I turned the volume off. I don't like listening to their commentary. So I'm watching the fight. I gave Porter one round, and that was the first one. Rest of them all Terrence Crawford. Now
Nah, bro.
Let me finish. I seen that Andre had him up and on the commentary card. A lot of those rounds were close, okay, but I still gave him just my eyesight, my preference toward what wins you around for me. I still gave him to Crawford. Not saying that he didn't perform or do anything that it was a blowout where it was just a clear-cut round win for Crawford. But like I said, all those rounds I gave all the way up to the 10th round to Crawford. And
bro,
I know a lot of people probably not going to see it that way, but
3 and 5 were clear Porter rounds. And the reason why I say they were clear Porter rounds because Crawford really, those fights, Crawford, and I knew why he'd done it, but he sat in the pocket and let Porter tee off on him because he really was just trying to impose his physical stature. Because if you look at that fight, those 2 rounds, he deployed the high guard and literally just sat in the pocket and was like,
because he was letting them tire himself out. And then
yeah,
I believe
but he
at the
still
end of
lost
those
that
rounds,
round though.
that's when
There
Terrence
might be
Crawford
logic
came on
to
and he
it.
started hitting them with clean shots. Like
There might be logic to it, but I still think he lost those 2 rounds.
Now, you're right. Now, I mean, I understand that, and I don't disagree with you or anything. Like I said, those rounds were close. But when it comes to my criteria of boxing, not just about what you're throwing, it's what's landing clean to me. Who has the more significant shots? Not when it comes to Porter. To me,
Yeah.
he throws
You're
a
gonna
lot
have
of.
to put
He's a volume
this
puncher
dude in
inside.
timeout, bro.
Huh?
Ooh,
You have to put this dude in timeout, bro.
who you talking about?
This dude here. Look at the last few comments, bro.
All right, I got it. Don't worry about it. Oh, he been here before. Hold on a second.
I don't see no comments, but like I said, I didn't pick Porter. To me, like I said, I had picked Crawford in that fight way before, almost 2.5 years ago. And it literally, I wish the live would have said, but I literally said how this fight was going to end. I said what punch was going to end it. I said the uppercut was going to end the fight. It didn't end the fight, but it was the beginning of the end because that's where the first knockdown came from, was an uppercut. And then that check right hook because he was in the southpaw stance. And that was it. And if you ever watch any of Porter's fights, he does not have a plan B. All he knows is to go forward and maul you and make the fight as dirty and ugly as possible. That's the
you gave Porter 1 round.
I gave Porter one round, bro.
You
now,
on your
like
you
I
on
said
your
before,
Skip Bayless. You on your Skip Bayless thing right now.
There was some rounds in there that were close. I mean, that could have went either way. But from my perspective,
Blaze, come on, bro. Blaze, come on.
I'm dead serious.
I see, bro. Now I see why you said what you said because you gave him 1 round. Wow.
1 round, bro. I gave him that first round. To me, he landed.
You don't think he won 3 and 5? You got to go back and watch.
I probably would have to go back and watch. Like I said,
you had to go back.
Hey,
yo, go back. Yo, go back.
There were two easy rounds to give to.
Hey, bro, you gotta rewatch. You gotta rewatch that fight and rescore
2 rounds, though, right? Y'all saying y'all at least gave Porter 2 rounds.
I had Shawn up.
I'd Crawford up. I'd Crawford up.
That's what I'm saying. Listen to it's 3 of us, right? We all didn't pick the fight the same way. Nobody ever see. That's why you had 3 judges, and you can't just have one judge, one person watching a fight. You need 3 different, opinions about the fight. Don't mean that all opinions going to be the same. So if we were the 3 judges, who would have won? Terrence Crawford. Unanimous decision.
Yeah, but they'd have had you drug tested after the fight.
Look, they called me two birds. I don't give a shit. That's what I just saw.
You done hit an Adelaide
Bro,
bird
they
on
would have
us.
held you by
I
your
don't give a shit,
name,
my
bro.
bad.
They would have held you by your name and said, "This dude's
I'm
name's
just
Blaze.
sorry. That's the way
This
I saw
dude's
this, yo.
name's Blaze. This dude's name's
This
Blaze. He
Blaze
must be
Billy
high."
215. Yeah, get him drug tested,
Listen,
man.
but that's just what I said. If, like I said, I knew the fight. I knew the end of the. I mean, I knew the way the fight was going to go before it even started, and it went exactly the way. Regardless of the scorecards.
Says Ezra, that comment has me creasing, bro. That comment is funny. Blaze, I get frustrated by Canelo too, but it's pretty unfair to say he's been fighting tomato cans. Are you saying the entirety of 168 is trash aside from Benavidez? The truth is, everybody at 168 won vacant straps. They didn't beat the champion to get their strap. That's a fact. That's just a fact.
I'm not saying that every person that Canelo has fought has been garbage or tomato cans, but there's a lot of them on his list, and a lot of his fights, like I said, ever since after the Mayweather fight and the Laura fight, it just seemed like he's not willing to take that huge risk. That's what I'm saying. Not saying he won't at some time and point, because Golovkin was a risk, but he came out on top, and that's where I give him that respect. That's where Canelo got my respect from, because I thought Golovkin was going to be his toughest test, and it kind of was, but he passed with flying colors. And when he knocked out John, what's the last fight? His last fight, like I said, when he knocked him out that same night, I said he was my pound for pound best fighter.
You mean Plant, when he knocked out Plant?
No, the last guy he just fought.
Plant.
His name?
You talking about Canelo? You talking about Canelo?
Canelo.
Yeah, he fought Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant.
Caleb Plant. Okay.
That's what I just said.
That's what I said. I couldn't hear you. I ain't got my earplug, my AirPods.
Nah, bro, you just don't understand English accent. That's cool, bro.
No, I can't hear you. I thought you said.
I'm joking.
Go ahead, Shane.
But like I said,
I don't think David would trouble Canelo. He hasn't been in with the top guys. His chin power, endurance, and speed are questionable. His chin, he's open, and Canelo lands a lot of lands a shot, he might just crumble. Bro, I can't question his chin. You can't question his chin. But
the thing that scares me when Canelo fights Benavidez, the only thing that I think there's a disadvantage for Benavidez is that he stands tall all the time.
Facts.
Like, he does not move a lot, and Canelo will turn you around with them body shots and bring your head down. And once you a tall fighter and you bring your head down against Canelo, he's gonna take it off.
Spence and Crawford needs to go. Spence and Crawford is a good PR man or woman. Remember Rocky Clubber Lang. Why am I reading like I'm in special ed or something like that? Went everywhere. Rocky did calling him out. Clubber to Rocky, right, power man. You want a real man? Come see me. Fair enough. Chris G would hate to hear this, but it is true. Benavidez' resume thinner than Fandora. That's funny.
Yo, that's funny, yo. I'm gonna tell Chris you said that too, yo.
They don't call him Blaze for nothing. Trust me, this guy's blazing up there. Real
right
Jamaican
after this
right
live,
now.
I'm about to, you know what I mean? I didn't even want to do it on my live.
Edwin Castillo, damn, won. It was 4-4 with a close round and a swing round before the stoppage. Bro, I'm not gonna lie, the 6th round was real close. That was probably the closest round of the fight. Blaze, I feel like you on some of the highest blazes. It's funny.
They don't call me that for no reason, bro.
That's actually inaccurate. Smith beat Groves and Plant beat Uzcategui. Only Billy Joe Saunders. Okay, so let me explain. Groves won a belt, if we're keeping it all the way 100, because that belt was vacant. And Plant won a belt because Caleb Truax beat James DeGale. James DeGale relinquished his strap, and then they fought for that strap. So really and truly, let's keep it real. They won vacant straps. Groves was never
I used to be a DeGale fan when he first
me as
started
well.
fighting.
I was a massive DeGale fan.
Yeah.
Growing up, I was a massive DeGale fan. But Groves won that belt, and it was vacant. And he won a vacant strap. Let's just keep it all the way 100. Blade needs some sleep.
Not yet. Not yet.
Fighting Trout, Lara,
They
and
grinding
Mayweather
me up
all
in the
before
comments.
he turning 24 is proof he wouldn't avoid people. Bro, I don't know, man. I can't say that.
Let me address that. Let me address that.
Fight Trout.
Edwin, bless you. Canelo was in a different space back then. He was in a different space back then. Back then he wasn't the cash cow, so he wasn't in the position to make the same moves back then as he does right now. Yeah. So that's a loaded comment.
Hold on, wait, before we go to the next comment. Now let's be real. When it came to that Mayweather fight, he went into that fight thinking Mayweather was too old and too slow for him. And then he got his world rocked, and then he knew he had to do more. He can't just come into these fights thinking he was going to go through somebody.
Listen, anybody that wasn't a boxing guy thought that Canelo had a shot. Anybody that was a boxing, but the thing is, though,
who got a shot?
I thought Canelo had a shot against Mayweather.
I said anybody. I didn't. It's just he wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
And Mayweather is my favorite fighter.
Yeah, he wasn't ready. He wasn't ready. And the thing is, Canelo just wasn't ready. You know, at the end of the day. But Canelo back then was taking on fights like that because he was trying to get to where he is right now. Right. So it's just it's two different Canelos. Two different Canelos.
This is for the guy that's Canelo fan in the comment section. I gave Canelo a better chance of beating Mayweather than Pacquiao. So you can't even know where to call me a hater.
Well, you must have been smoking good twigs back then.
It was a completely different mind frame. Completely different.
Because if Blunt, I can't have Blunt listening to this and be like, "Yo, you let Blaze get away with that comment." So I had to say something. I had to say something.
It was a different mind frame back then. It was a different mind frame. But I'm gonna be honest about it though.
I feel you though. He said, I said Davis' chin is questionable because the top guys haven't hit him. It's like if Berlanga now fought the top, he probably wouldn't even wobble anyone. He needs to get better and more experience.
That's exactly what we've been saying all live. We can't say somebody's it's like the USA thing. I have to see him go through these things first. I gotta see him.
Is AJ not a puncher?
Huh?
Is AJ not a puncher?
Did AJ punch him? I don't even remember a significant punch that AJ landed.
Okay, so I'm glad you brought it up. So if Usyk has the ability to make AJ miss, who is offensively better than Fury, why does he not have the ability to make Fury miss?
I didn't say he didn't. I didn't say that. What I'm saying, before we speak on the original thing I was bringing up, I was just saying, I need to see him in that spot. I need to see him change from plan A to plan B. That's what I meant when I'm saying when it comes to Usyk. Just like when it comes to Benavidez, I never seen him hit with a good shot. I never seen him really fight a fighter that I think could pose a risk to him. I haven't seen that yet. Once I see that, then I can make my opinion.
Blunt, Blaze, let me tell you how much of a soldier BoxingFirst Vlog is. The man is in a hospital bed trying to get in the goddamn live. Yo. That's my guy. Yo. Big shout out to BoxingFirst Vlog. He can't get in there, man. He can't get in here, man. Big shout out to you, bro.
If his Wi-Fi is messed up in his car and in his house.
Imagine a hospital room.
Imagine in a hospital.
Man.
Yo, he got hospital room Wi-Fi, man.
He got tubes in his nose. He probably want to get in there.
That's gangster, though. He said,
did we drop the link? Did we drop the link?
Nah, I never dropped. To be honest with you.
You don't know that because I'm using my phone. I got
we gotta hold on.
My son broke my other phone, so I can't even use
damn.
Edwin, follow us on Instagram and then we'll send it.
I follow us on Instagram and I'll send it to you, bro. He said, "LOL." Okay, so pretty much every champion wanted vacant. LOL, because every belt was vacant at one point.
No, that's a
What
lie.
are you
Because
saying, Shane?
look at the great. He called my name, so let me explain that.
Hold on. Well, hey, hold on. Hey, Shane, hold on just a second. Hey, Edwin, the role that you've been taking in the live today is usually Will's role. Will is the one that usually jumps on Shane, but Edwin, you beat him to it. So if y'all want to have a Royal Rumble between the three of
y'all
y'all,
focusing on Shane because y'all done grounded me up enough.
Yeah,
I want no parts of that.
Go ahead, Shane.
So the reason why you're just, if you look at people's road to undisputed, so let's look at Josh Taylor's road to undisputed. When he beat Jose Ramirez was a legitimate champion. He was a champion for several years and had beaten other champions to get to where he was. And he beat what's it called? He beat what's my dude's name? He beat Regis Prograis, another champion. So you could actually see his path to undisputed. I don't need to go into U6 because I can go into U6 all day long. You can see his route and how he got to champion to undisputed. Whereas Canelo's, let's look at Charlo's road to undisputed. Charlo would have fought Castano, Rosario, Lubin, and Charlo, Castano, Lubin, and Harrison. All fighters who were legitimate champions at that time because they had beaten the champion before them. It's the same thing with the other fighters who were undisputed. Now, Crawford's road to undisputed was real bad, and I've openly said Crawford had a very, very easy road to undisputed, but so was Canelo. His road to undisputed was real weak. Your boy AJ, his road to unifications, the one thing you can say about AJ is at least he fought champions who had beaten other fighters. This dude hasn't beaten anybody who's beaten anyone. Billy Joe Saunders' resume at 168 is even thinner than Benavidez. And I didn't think that was even possible.
Hold on, let me finish these comments off. Every one of Floyd's straps were vacant then, I guess. A Blacks, what's going on, bro? A Blacks, he was in the
he said Cabello. Why he say Cabello?
Clemelo is cherry picking Macabo.
Oh, I know why his name's Clemelo, bro.
Yeah, Clenbuterol.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's funny. Burt Wood, I am biased. Loma is one bad man. His footwork is my pound for pound.
Bro, he needs to go see Teofimo Lopez.
He got Teofimo problems.
That back.
Yeah, he got to get that back. Yeah. Second Ezra, I never thought Canelo had a chance to beat Mayweather.
Listen,
never.
Man, I made
he was smoking the finest. Yeah, we're gonna let him slide on that. Edwin said Laura was still avoided by a lot of people, and Mayweather did show Canelo he need just a little more, and said Canelo would one day be the face of boxing. That's insane that Floyd saw that greatness. Edwin, I will say this though, Floyd had Canelo fighting on his undercards for a very long time, so he actually seen that. He's seen it for sure. Will Stokes Loma's footwork is the best I've ever seen. I disagree with that, but
Who's the best you've ever seen?
It's not Loma. I gotta think of a name.
It's not Loma. Better than Loma's footwork.
Yeah, Usyk got different type of.
Loma.
Yeah, Usyk got a different type of footwork. Now it depends on what you're talking about. Fury is more deceptively fast and skilled. For his size.
Yeah, but he's offensively weak. Nobody can look at me and tell me that Fury's got good offense because he doesn't.
That's because he got other things in the toolbox that he uses.
He definitely has. I'm not trying to take anything away from Fury, bro. Fury's got so much things in the toolbox, bro. This dude literally has everything in the toolbox, but every fighter has weaknesses, and his weakness is that he doesn't have great punch. Like his ability to deliver a punch ain't great.
That and a weak chin. He got a chin. He got a suspect chin. He ain't been knocked out, but he been knocked down more than a couple of times.
Yeah.
Dwayne Sewell said, "Big up the vlog." Yeah, big up the BoxingFirst Vlog. Edwin Castillo laughing. Will Stokes laughing. Will Stokes.
The truth is, Will Stokes has been running from that smoke for years.
Canelo Alvaroids.
No, I'm using that. I'm using that. I'm using that. That
That's
is
the
the comment
comment
of the
of the
day for
night.
me.
That's the comment
That
of
is
the
the
night.
comment of the night
That's
for
the
me.
comment of the night. That is the comment of the night. Yo, Canelo Alvarez. Yo, that's
I am
funny.
using that, bro. I am
Yo,
using that.
yo, that
Canelo
is
Alvarez.
hilarious,
Oh
bro.
my gosh.
He said he
That is
was
an
cleared with
amazing
the
comment.
hair.
Will I give you that one? Bro,
Yo,
you deserve a what's it called? You deserve an extra point on the fantasy just for
yo,
that. But
that
you
was
ain't getting it.
hilarious.
But that was a good that's
He
funny.
said he was cleared. He was cleared with the hair follicle.
Bro, you must have been the only one to know that. 'Cause I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
I didn't know that either. Will Stokes, Loma beating T.O. in a rematch 100.
I can agree.
He got it.
He
He got to
to
see.
start off faster.
He got T.O. problems, man. I don't want to hear nothing about Loma pound for pound until he handled them T.O. problems.
Right.
Will Stokes, Canelo, mad sus when I can't lie. Hold on a second. Ezra Fury, best attribute is his boxing IQ.
That is a fact.
That's
That is a
100% facts. I would say he's a savant in terms of his boxing IQ.
Jeff described him the best one time. He said there's certain fighters who are great fighters, and then there's certain fighters who fight great. Fury is a fighter who fights great.
He fights great.
Fights great.
Yeah,
he's not a great. He's not. If you look at him, he's not on. He's not an elite fighter like off the eyes. When you look at him, you don't think, oh, this dude is elite. But he fights so great. Like he knows how to fight. This dude's so battle hardened. It's ridiculous. Like that's why I think he beats Usyk. As much as I said Usyk is my pound for pound number one.
I thought I said that to you earlier. You told me no.
I've never picked Fury to beat Usyk. I just said he's not as skilled as Usyk.
Oh, I'm about to say.
I think Fury.
I will pick Fury. I think I will pick.
No, I picked Fury to beat Usyk.
Yeah, I will pick Fury to beat Usyk.
I just think Usyk is more skilled. But the size will come into play.
Yeah.
And Fury's a fighter who fights so great. Like he fights so good. Like he knows how to win.
He'll figure it out. He'll figure it out at the end of the day.
But yeah, let's call this a day. We said we were gonna go live.
Listen, we
got 10 people still in this all.
Yo, we didn't. So let me explain this to people because we're gonna wrap this thing up. Hold on. Fury understands the nuance of boxing. Yeah, that's like when you've been in that crunk gym since you was young, you're gonna understand the nuances of boxing, the dirty side, the clean side, and everything else. Will Stokes, Tony Bell, you said AJ is the greatest athlete the heavyweight division has ever seen. What do you make of that?
That's a lie.
Crack.
Smoking all the crack.
He's smoking crack, all the crack. Colored crack, all
but
that.
He must have said that after he got knocked out by Usyk.
Yeah, he was smoking. Listen, he was smoking that. He was smoking that school middle, that old school, that school chalk. Like he crumbled that up and smoked it. Canelo beats Usyk and Fury. That's funny.
I'll bet you $1,000 that he doesn't beat them. And even though I pay late,
we ain't gonna never see that fight. We ain't gonna never see that $1,000. Matter of fact, don't get on Shane playment pants.
I don't. Bro,
yeah. Blaze, firstly, Blaze. Firstly, let's keep this real, yeah. Let's keep this real. You can't even hit me up like that, bro. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I mean, listen. For everybody that don't know, Shane made a bet with me. He paid his bet. I mean, it was a couple weeks late, but he paid his bet. But don't go on this payment plan. Get your money up front. I'm telling you, right?
Bro, this dude had me. Bro, this dude, yeah. Let me tell you why it's so annoying. This dude, yeah, had me doing up mental arithmetic with
I don't know how it worked. I didn't know how your cash app worked. I kept sending you.
Bro, I have to. No, but requests don't work for internationally.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that shit works.
Because when I clicked the link, it was telling me to send. It was telling me to send £43, which is not $43.
Yeah, I don't know how it works. I didn't listen. I got most of my money. I'll wait for the rest. It ain't that deep.
What is it? What $43?
It was only like $43.
Yeah,
you paid me.
I got the $43, man. Take that. Hey, listen, take that out when I win this football league. I meant
to say, it's early. I heard you was in town, Shane. You ain't let me know nothing, man.
Hey, hold on. Listen,
I'll let you know.
Yeah, I ain't know nothing about you being in town.
bro, when I came to Philly, I asked about you. I asked about you,
Yeah,
please. Swear
I
to
You
God.
asked
called,
Drake
I
about
called,
me.
bro,
I ain't know nothing about it.
I called you twice while he was here
Really?
and
What the
couldn't get a
fuck
hold
was
of
that?
you.
Yes.
I
Was this
called
a
you twice.
Saturday
I
or
don't know where
something?
you was at.
It was a
Yeah, he was
Saturday.
there for a couple days. Yeah, it was a Saturday.
Yeah, I
It was
was
a,
at.
he was
How,
there,
bro, man said that, bro, I
no,
was
he
there
was
for
there.
7 days.
He was there for a week. But I
1 week.
called you Saturday was one of the days I called you though.
I don't even remember. I gotta go back and check.
Yeah, we was running all around the city. Hold on. To be fair, who can you name who is much of a better overall athlete than
Mike
AJ? Hey,
Tyson.
Will,
We gonna have to say that
Will,
for another day.
Will. We not gonna go like Will, we not gonna go there. We not gonna go there. He said, Mike, yeah.
You know what I'm gonna say? And I don't care what you guys say. I don't care. Ikea Biabuchi was much of a better athlete than
Oh
Anthony
man,
Joshua, bro.
I'm done with him too, man. Second, Ezra Muhammad Ali is the greatest that the heavyweight has ever seen. Yeah. Will said no, Ezra. I'm saying athlete, not fighter. But AJ's he's not an extreme athlete.
I just
He's
don't know
not.
He's
what
just
makes
a
him an
physical.
athlete
He's just
for
a
everybody.
physical specimen. He's not a
Yeah, I
real
just don't know
athlete.
what makes because I don't know. Maybe
He has
people got
no stamina. I've
different
never
definition
seen an
of
athlete
athlete.
without stamina. Have you ever seen an
Yo,
athlete without stamina?
that's the traits of a fat man.
Yeah, athlete without stamina.
Edward said Roy Jones is the best in his prime. Second Ezra said I meant to add athlete in that comment. I feel you, bro. I listen, we gotta close it out, bro.
Yeah, bro.
We gotta close it out. So
Right.
I gotta give y'all a little bit of context
Almost made
before
it
we
4
roll.
hours.
Yeah, 3. So Shane,
Firstly, nobody comes on live for 3.5 hours. This channel's
so
different.
yeah, Shane was like before we got on, right? Shane was like, yo, I want to be on the live for a long time. He was like, at least 3 hours, yo, at least 3 hours. So I said, all right, cool. So I expected 3 hours. I didn't expect close to 4.
Give me my flowers. Give me my flowers.
That's actually a
Give me
good
my
point.
flowers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was over 3.5 hours. And the thing is, there was a lot that we didn't get to.
Right.
Rob
I came in here with notes. I didn't even get to the shit.
Yeah, Rob Acosta. I was supposed to get him on. That ain't happened. I was supposed to get Padman on. That ain't happened. I was supposed to link Cruz and Rob Acosta up. That ain't happened. We ain't talk none of the fights that's going on this weekend. That ain't happened.
Right.
I didn't even cook. I didn't even cook on Kenny Porter like I wanted to. That ain't happened either. The only thing, yeah, I mean, it just got real.
Just tune back into the next live.
Yeah, we back at it tomorrow. You know what's going down. Episode 26. Blaze, give them your social media. Give them your
New Wave
channel.
Boxing Media. If you look under my name, you'll see it. My second page is Blaze215. You know, I flip back and forth through them Johns. If I'm not on here tomorrow, I'm at work, but I will be in the comment section if you need to find me. If best time to find me is 5 minutes before the live ends, you know, that's what I do. I appreciate everybody coming in and commenting, and Will, you funny, bro. You funny.
But yeah, what I would say before Jeff gives me his introduction is, firstly, the site is updated. BoxingFirst Vlogs article has been up for the last day or so. So that's it's called Eddie Reynoso Trainer of the Year. You can go and read that on the g5jeftv.com. The article's out. But the 2 fights for this week is also up on the site, as well as 2 fights next week is up on the site. The updated league is up as well. So go and look at the updated version of the league. Shout out to you, Guy English. I do have to add 3 points. I literally didn't know you predicted the Tim Zoo fight. I didn't even see the prediction come through. So shout out to you, bro. But yeah, the sites update, everything's updated. So go to g5jeftv.com and make your predictions to win $500 for free. Bro, what are we doing for Jeff? Are we giving away $100 for the perfect prediction for Stephen Fulton, Brandon Figueroa? If there's a stoppage.
Hold on, I'm trying to think. That's that fight, and what's the other fight this weekend?
Cambosis.
Yeah, I'm not offering that for Cambosis and
No.
Stephen Fulton and Brandon Figueroa, if you do get the correct prediction, and I'm not talking a decision, the correct prediction, that's the fighter, the method of victory, and the round. If you get it perfectly correct, I'm cash apping you $100. Cash apping you $100 off top. That's separate from the 500. That's separate from the 500 for the winner of the league. So you can win $100 of that right now. Right now, if you get that right. Hold on. We got a couple late scragglers coming in here. Ayo Blaze, where you at in Philly? I got 5 on
West side.
YSM is in the building. Shane is a cool boy, fanboy. Viva la Mexico. That's funny.
You know what's so funny? You would never say Viva la Mexico in front of Schoolboy Steph's face. And you know him personally. And you'll never say that in front of his face.
Hey, yo, no instant 100 on the Bud Porter fight.
Nah,
I didn't give it out. It was, I pick and choose which ones. It just
literally we do it wisely.
Yes, we do it wisely. I'd have been out about $600.
Bro, you know what? You should have done it for Kiko versus Galahad.
Right. He said asking for a friend. He said no instant 100 on the Bud Porter fight. Nah, I didn't do it for that one. But to be honest with you, we had our situation. Like I probably would have. But luckily for me, it didn't happen. Hey Shane, give me your Instagram real quick, bro.
I'm Shane the number 1. I see YSM jumping with that cheeky comment, but I'm quick with the rebounds, bro. I'm quick with the rebounds, trust me.
Yeah, hey yo. Y'all can follow me all over the place, man. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, everything G5 Jeff TV. I will say this though. Rob Acosta. We got to get to you, Pad man. We got to get to you. My man fighting in a couple days, so I probably have to get with him afterwards. Raisa Lane. Big shout out to Raisa Lane.
One thing.
Go ahead.
One thing. Big shout out to my boy Dan Aziz. Headline show on Sky. Won by knockout. Headline show. Won by knockout. 7th round knockout. The Fury clan was there. The Tyson Fury was there. They were supporting their cousin, thinking that they were going to get an easy touch. Dan knocked him out in 7. So shout out to my boy.
Big shout out to Dan Aziz, man. And stop playing around, man. Get on the show, bro. Stop playing around, man. Will Stokes. It's because I had round 10. That's why. I didn't have it for that one. Yeah. How dare you test my gangster? Mexico beats Philly all day, every day. This dude's funny. Yo. Listen, we done been on with y'all for 3 hours and 37 minutes. That is
we're the only one doing this.
Yeah, I gotta go. Yeah, listen, man. Hey, y'all not gonna get this anywhere else, man. I did serious. Like y'all not gonna get this anywhere else. And then on top of that, we ain't got no super chat. We ain't got no super chat ticket running down the bottom, man. Right. We ain't asked you for no bread, no nothing. All we asked you to do is hit none of that. I'm like, yo, all we asked you to do, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and then join the fantasy league. That's it. And we let you cook.
We didn't miss one comment in 3 hours and 37 minutes.
3 hours, 37 minutes. We ain't missed one comment. And we ain't ask y'all for a dime. Just go to the fantasy league, yo. Go to the fantasy league and subscribe to my man's channel. That's it. We don't ask for much, man. We don't ask for much. Will said the grind don't stop, fellas. That's just an absolute fact.
That's my motto.
That's an absolute fact.
It's blazing the group chat on Instagram.
I gotta put him in the group chat.
I can put you in there. Make sure you post your channel so everybody subscribes. You got a lot of people in the chat, but put that chat on mute.
I'm gonna put 24 hours. Put it on mute. Put it on mute. 24 hours. I had somebody in the chat actually leave the chat because it was too much, and I forgot to tell them to put it on mute. So he just left the group altogether. Like,
Bro,
so
you have to
I
put,
gotta message him. I'll be
because
like, yo, get back in the group. You
the,
just
the
gotta put
dude,
it on mute.
the chat is everybody's from like anywhere around the world. You got people from Asia, people from Australia, people from UK, all over the world in this chat. So it's 24 hours, so you can't get a break. You have to put it on mute.
Yeah,
You
you
have
had
to
to put
put
it
it on
on
mute.
mute. Like, you had to put it on mute. He said, all trolling aside, Cool Boy will ascend to pound for pound after he stops Figueroa. If he stops Figueroa, we gonna have to have that discussion. We're gonna have to have
Oh, yeah,
that
that's a
discussion.
fact. But I
We
will
gonna.
say this though:
But
if
if
Figueroa beats
beats
Fulton,
Fulton,
fight,
he's
fight of the year,
definitely
fight of the year,
he's fighter of the year.
fight of the year,
Fighter of the year. Hands
fight of the
down.
year.
Because he'd have beat Neri and Fulton. Yeah, fighter of the year, hands down. It ain't gonna happen, but hands down, that'll be fighting. Hands down. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just don't want us to leave. Cool Boy
Yeah,
has some work with
Ahmed
Ahmed
Elias, bro.
first.
That fight I want to see. I
I
can't
want to
lie.
see
I
that
want
fight
to
too.
see that fight. That's
Yeah, I do want to see
whoever
that
wins
fight.
this fight, Ahmed Elias versus them is undisputed. So it's the
Yeah,
easiest fight. And
yeah,
Eddie Hearn already said he's gonna put the money up for it. So
yeah. So we
I
got to
don't
see
believe
that,
nothing come
man.
out of Eddie's mouth though, like ever. I just rather
I
see him.
nah, but when it
will
comes to
say
money, he's true with it. Trust me.
said I can't overlook MJ. Can't overlook my man Rice Aleem either. That's my guy.
Oh yeah, right. Bro, that's
Rice Aleem, a problem.
122.
122.
122 is
That might
smoking,
be
bro.
my favorite division, yo. Real talk. That might
Smoking.
be my favorite division.
Rice is
Um,
fighting this week as well.
yeah, for sure. We're gonna try to get him on after that fight. He said I got some off-camera info for y'all. Always appreciate it. Listen, man. I'm tired of seeing all y'all, man. This 3
All right,
hours
cool,
and
bro.
40 minutes,
It's
man.
now 2 o'clock
Listen,
in the morning.
yeah, man. On behalf of New Wave Boxing Media, aka Blaze Philly 215, VP Shane, aka Shane Abiabuchi, because he mentioned Abiabuchi
Yeah,
earlier
you
in
can
this
do it today.
live,
You
then
can do
I
it
could do it today. And G5 Jeff TV, aka G5, aka 5, aka the Guru. On behalf of the staff, man, big shout out to my guy BoxingFirst Vlog. Get better soon, bro. We are out.
Pieces.